Welcome to Armchair Expert. Today's guest is Evan Rachel Wood. Come on. Evan Rachel Wood. Evan Rachel Wood. Grab your wood with Evan Rachel. Monica.
Yes, hi.
Hi, I'm your host, Bill Peterson. Who are you today?
Maddie McTurner.
Oh.
Yeah.
I weirdly thought you were going to say Maximum Mouse.
Oh.
I think in days where you're feeling extra powerful, you should have another persona.
Ooh.
Persona non grata. That's Maximum Mouse.
Like a alter ego.
Mm-hmm. Where it's like, it's a day that you're going to fucking take names. What is it? Kick ass and take names?
Yeah.
You're Maximum Mouse.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm Maximum Mouse most days.
Yeah, you're pretty Maximus Majoris.
Ew, that sounded kind of sound like some genitals.
Well, listen, Evan Rachel Wood, she has been in so many darn things.
So many.
I wouldn't even know where to begin. But currently she's on Westworld on home box office,
Right.
HBO. What's their little thing, HBO?
Not TV.
Not TV, but what's their sound? It's like,
Yeah.
is there just that? Isn't there this?
And then it fades out and then HBO's there.
But then it goes, or something? Is there
maybe.
something melodic?
Yeah, that sounds right, actually.
Okay. Home box office. Check it out.
Boys are better at making sounds. I do.
Oh, you do?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Except for the exception of your wife, I think, generally speaking, I mean, I'm going to say that's a bad thing for me to say, but I really believe
No, it's a bad thing for me to say. You can say whatever the hell you
no,
want.
I want to be part of this, perpetuating the gender differences, but it's because it's cultural. I think boys are meant to play with trucks and things that are kinetic and like bang together, and then they are making those sounds. And girls aren't really given those toys and told to play with those things.
Well, I do think you're right in that when girls play, they talk.
Yeah,
like
it's
their toys face each other.
Yeah.
They're always like, making plans or they're dealing with something. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and guys are like, oh, what's up, bro?
Exactly. They're mainly in sound effects land.
And we do a lot of fart noises for each other.
Oh, wow.
There's all kinds of for each occasion.
So many kinds, yeah.
Nate can do the best ones.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was. What a terrible way to start this podcast. Listen, everybody, Evan Rachel Wood is here. She's brilliant. She's a damn fine actor, and she's a lot of fun to talk to. So please enjoy Evan Rachel Wood. We get support from Quince.
Have you been wearing the Quince linen shirts?
Yeah, I've been wearing them a suspicious amount. Yeah, European linen ones, they're $34, which is genuinely insane for how nice they are.
It doesn't even make sense.
Well, here's the deal. They work directly with the factories, cut out all the middlemen, so you're paying for the actual quality and not some brand's marketing budget. Everything's 50 to 80% less than comparable stuff. I love it because it's all very classic and traditional, and I know I'm going to be able to keep it for a very long time, and the quality's off the charts.
That's true. The style is very consistent. Whatever you get there, you walk down the street, you're going to look good. They have these lightweight cotton sweaters, which I love for when it cools down at night. It's nice drape around your shoulders in the summer and then throw it on when it gets a little cool. And it's not just clothes. They do home stuff, ding, 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 travel stuff, everyday essentials. It's all the same model, quality without the markup.
Make your summer wardrobe easier. Go to quince.com/Dax for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/Dax for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/Dax. This episode is brought to you by SoFi, the all-in-one finance app where you can bank, borrow, and invest all in one place.
Let's talk bank accounts for a second. The average bank savings rate is 0.39% in interest. You're earning pennies on your savings, but it does not have to be that way.
With SoFi High Yield Checking and Savings, the money barely making moves sitting in your savings account can earn over 8 times the national average savings rate with eligible direct deposit.
No account or overdraft fees, which feels rare these days. You can get your paycheck up to 2 days early, perfect for getting ahead of a bill or grabbing what you need right when you need it.
Plus, get up to a $300 welcome bonus when you sign up with eligible direct deposit. Sign up for SoFi checking and savings at SoFi.com/armchair. SoFi checking and savings is offered through SoFi Bank N.A. member FDIC. Terms apply.
He's an armchair expert. He's an armchair expert. He's an armchair expert.
Evan, welcome to Armchair Expert.
Thank you for having me.
You know, you're way younger than I thought. Do you get that a lot?
No, I actually get the opposite.
Oh, you do?
Really?
People think I'm younger. When they find out I have a 5-year-old, I'm in my 30s, I think it freaks them out.
Oh, because you're exactly 2 weeks younger than Monica.
Than me.
Ah.
Yeah.
And Monica's generally the youngest person around.
Alive. I'm generally the youngest person on earth.
Call you a baby just indefinitely. 'Cause
Yeah.
That happens to me.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a baby.
Yes.
Well, she is
Also
technically Kristen and I's baby.
Yes.
Yeah, she's
Yes.
one of our 3 babies.
Yep.
But I guess probably just because I've seen you for 20 plus years,
Yeah.
I thought for sure you were minimally my wife's age. Not that you look any certain way, just in my mind, I'm
I
like,
wouldn't care either way.
well, I remember when we started working on Parenthood, and I started working with Mae Whitman, and I was like, why is she better than everyone? Like it really triggered some insecurities. I'm like, this 21-year-old's considerably better than most of us. And then I looked at her, I'm like, oh, she's been acting for 20 years. She was a fucking baby, literally.
May and I used to go to the same acting class.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, we knew each other when we were kids. We kind of like grew up in the same acting kids circle, and she was always one of the best. Yeah.
And did you guys get along?
Oh yeah, I adore May.
She is.
and she's so incredibly talented. I'm dying to work with her. Actually.
Yeah. And then the most fun human being we've got.
Yes.
Yeah. So funny.
Yeah, she's incredible.
And I was wondering if you have this thing that she has, which is she was 21 and I was, I guess, maybe 37 or something when we started working together. And I would throw out references like Harold and Maude, not thinking for a second she's going to know what that is,
One
but
of
she
the
knows
best movies ever
every
made.
single reference that I knew, being that much older than her.
It's from growing up around adults.
Yeah, I was wondering
Yeah.
if you had that too.
Absolutely. I'm sure she's gotten the "you're such an old soul" so many times.
Yes.
It's just, I think it comes from growing up in the industry a lot. I always got along better with adults than kids growing up, which is sad in some ways, but also turned me on to a lot of really cool art.
Yeah. Well, are you familiar with this concept of that you have 2 selves, right? There's the experiential self and then the narrative self, the one that's writing the story of your life. Yeah. And then the experiential self is like looking at Instagram, and you love doing that for 2 hours. And then at night, your narrative self's like, that was a terrible waste of my day, right? So they're at odds sometimes. But I'm wondering, I'm sure the experiential Evan was enjoying the hell out of being around adults, not like going, oh, I'm missing out on a traditional childhood. But I wonder if the narrative self, when you look back, do you feel like, oh, maybe
It's interesting. I feel like a lot of people that were child actors and that are still acting as adults, when they get asked, if they have children, they get asked, would you let your kids do it? And they say, I wouldn't change anything about my life, but no, I will not let my child do it.
Yeah.
So I have, kind of.
Do you feel that way about
I'm
it?
at war a bit with it because there's a lot of scary things that come with it. And I do have reservations about thrusting a child into it before they really have a sense of self and what they really want. And you don't really know what you're getting into. Sometimes you don't really know what you're getting into as an adult.
No, most often none of us know.
And it's
kind
a
of
lot.
the fun of being alive. You think you're signing up for one thing and then something else.
Life doesn't give a. Can you cuss on this?
Of course.
Okay, yeah. Life doesn't give a shit about your plan. I've learned that. But
Yeah. Well,
but I also loved my experiences. And the travel and the learning, and I felt like I got a better education being an actor than I did in school.
I am perplexed by actors who now look. I don't want to push my children into acting. I don't even desire them to be child actors. But the notion of them being adults who go into acting, I'm like, it's the greatest job you can have if you can find employment. I don't understand. Like almost every actor I know with kids, like, well, I don't want him to go in that. I'm like, why? It's the best job.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
If he gets older and wants to do it, I would absolutely support it. I think it's an amazing tool. And I think what makes me sad is, and I've even felt this way, where, no one really asks you questions about acting or the process or what it means to you, and there's this assumption that you're just doing this to be famous and that's it, and that there's no
I am, by the way.
real-
but yeah, just so you know that.
and also that's fine.
Sure.
But there's
it's even
also-
worse. I just want money. I just want all the fucking
or money, and
yeah.
that's also fine.
Yeah.
But there is this other side of it that I don't know. For me, like I grew up in the theater. I grew up around it. That's why I know probably a lot of the same references May, because it was just I was bred to do it.
Yes.
And I loved it, and it was always to me about storytelling. And I never looked at it as pretending. I looked at it as truth telling and feeling and trying to be as like truthful and vulnerable as possible to connect people. And it sounds really cheesy when you talk about it, and no one really wants to believe you when you say that.
I guess my motivation for them to do it in adulthood would be I want them to have real life experiences before having primarily pretend life experiences.
Right.
You know, like I don't want them to just jump off a bridge into a river only in a movie when they hear action. Like I want them to have done that for real. And then when they're on the bridge in the movie, they remember how fun that was.
Right.
You know? So I guess that's the dicey part of it is like, but I think something May was great at, and I wonder how you did, is she was very engaged and active in every other aspect of her life as well. So she was like pursuing music on her own. She was into
Yeah, she's a great singer.
she sure is, with a little tiny angel.
Yeah.
And I wondered, were you so busy acting that you were precluded from having a bunch of hobbies or interests, or did you juggle a lot of things
Growing up or now?
growing up?
Yeah, growing up, I've started in musical theater, so I've also been singing as long as I've been acting, and music and singing is another great love of mine. But no, and
Well, let's start by saying your parents, your mom and dad are both actors.
they are, yeah.
And your dad's also a writer and a playwright and
Yeah,
I
and my
think a
mom
director.
runs an acting studio now. It's in the
Yeah.
blood everywhere. Yeah.
Right. So it certainly would make a ton of sense that was everything.
Yeah, my whole family's artists in some way. There's production designers, there's directors and writers and singers and drummers, and we're just kind of a family of misfits.
And why were you all in Raleigh?
That's where my parents grew up, and that's where my dad founded his theater, and which he still runs there. And that's where my parents met, and I grew up there and
Yeah.
watching plays, and that was the first place I went on stage, and that's just kind of where everything. I don't know. I think he always just felt a real connection with that community and wanting to give people that outlet there. And he has built this kind of really amazing community, and people that I've known since I was a child are still there and still involved. And
Yeah.
they've met their wives, and they've had kids, and now the kids are in the theater. It's been this kind of multi-generational thing. It's really cool.
Yeah, that's neat. And so presumably you were always around this theater, yeah?
Always, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And when did you first do a play? How old were you?
I was 4.
Oh, Jennifer. I have a 4-year-old right now, and I can't even get her to like walk to her room.
Yeah. I have a
bedtime.
5-year-old, and no, I can't imagine. I look at him and I'm like, that's how old I was when I screen tested for Interview with the Vampire.
Wow.
And it really dawned on me, and I looked at him and I said, oh, that's why people came up to you and said, excuse me?
Yeah.
This girl is 5 and she's
Yeah.
speaking like a Victorian adult. What is happening? So that's kind of where I got discovered.
It is interesting to me because when I look at people like what's her buns in E.T. Drew Barrymore.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at her, I'm like, oh, she's a baby.
Yeah.
And she's phenomenal.
Yes.
And I think if any kids should be that, it'd be Kristen and I's kids. And yet I don't see that they have that capacity at all. I mean, maybe as they get older, but yeah, it's a unique kind of like, because you just, at that age, you get sick of doing something in like 30 seconds.
Yeah, the attention span is really...
And they must have tricks to deal with that, or maybe they don't. Now that I think, I've been in movies with little people, and they just march forward like it's Harrison Ford is in the scene.
It's true. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really remember tricks or anything. I mean, but I know that Spielberg is like the child whisperer. All those amazing kids in his movies. Didn't they dress up somebody in a bear costume to film Close Encounters. Do you remember the kid in Close Encounters, the really, really little one and his performance was absolutely amazing, and the way he looked at the lights? It's because there was a guy in a bear costume dancing around. So just know that.
I feel
when
like
you go
they
back and
did
watch the movie.
something funny with E.T.
Yeah,
too.
I think so.
There's some kind of story about that.
I'm sure,
I don't know if
yeah.
they put E.T. in a top hat or a sombrero or board shorts.
That's incredible. But then you also hear the horror stories too of like, whoa, how did they get that kid to cry like that? And then you hear, oh, we told him that his dog had died.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then got the performance and then immediately told him that the dog was okay. And I was like, that's
Cruel.
Can I tell you the darkest
Traumatizing.
one I've heard? And it was
God,
from
yes.
someone who shot the movie. I'll leave out the director. But they knew that they needed the little kid to cry in like 3 weeks. And so the director had invited the kid into his trailer a couple different times to hang out. And he made a big deal about this watch. He had this pocket watch, and it had been his great-grandfather's and his father's, and now it was his, and it was his most prized possession, blah, 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 blah. Like 3 days before that scene, the director comes out and yells at the whole crew, someone stole my watch. Where's my fucking watch? If I find out who did this, blah, 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 makes this huge thing. He plays angry for 3 days. Moment before action, they send the costume over to straighten the kid's outfit out. And the costumer says, "What's in your pocket?"
oh, this is horrible.
I know.
And he
mean.
pulls out the watch. I mean,
Holy shit.
how is that not child abuse?
It is.
It is. It absolutely is.
I also have to tip my hat to the sophistication of the plan. I mean, it's a
That
pretty
is-
detailed plan.
Sociopathic, I would say.
Yes.
God.
Isn't that something? And the kid, of course, was crying. I didn't do it. It wasn't me. I don't know how
were
it
they
got
like,
there. Oh, they were like, get this.
Oh boy.
That is awful.
Can you remember ever being manipulated in that fashion? Did anyone hide a watch on your person?
No, but sometimes somebody would smash something to make me jump or make me scared, or you'd hear something really loud behind you, but it was never, I think sometimes I would get my mom to like yell at me or something, but I would ask her to do that. I'd be like, "Yell at me, Mom."
Yeah.
I was such a little like serious actor kid.
Yeah. One time when Kristen and I worked together on something I directed, it was a specific scene where she had to feel very betrayed and blah, blah, blah. And I said, "Do you want me to like just go off, the reservation?" And she said, "Yeah, like give me something believable." And so I made up this crazy story in the scene, and it worked. And at the end of it, we had to like hug for about 3 minutes. But she was an adult, and that's what she wanted.
Yeah. Well, again, it's weird. Our job is manipulating our emotions and tricking our bodies into thinking something is actually happening to us. And if you do that enough, it is easy to slip in and out of that. At least, I mean, I don't know, for maybe not for some, but for me, sometimes when I'll just think about a scene and start crying, like I just get used to like tapping into like what that would actually feel like.
Well, it's like muscle
and that's
memory,
also why
right?
it's muscle memory,
Yeah.
absolutely. But it's also why a lot of actors go insane. I think because you really
Like,
are
on the one
messing
hand-
with your head.
On one hand, I'm unsympathetic to actors who have these very public meltdowns on set, and it happens to get recorded. Part of me is like, fuck you. These people are working much harder than you, and you don't get to
Right.
act like that. On the other hand, I can also make the case that an actor's going to fail multiple times in front of everybody they know.
Yeah.
Before you get it. And there is some kind of vulnerability in that I'm a little sympathetic to, like, well, they're the only people here failing at their job over and over again until they,
Right.
quote, get it right.
And we really only get about 15 minutes to do our job a day, because it's all broken up. You do a little bit and then you wait for a really long time, you do a little bit, you wait for a really long time. And when you add it all together, it's really not that long doing your
Act.
job. Yeah.
That's what I like about TV. Like, I initially was hesitant to go into TV. And once I got there, I was like, oh, this is awesome. If I'm here for 10 hours, I'm actually acting for 6 of the hours.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's what I like.
Yes. I also watched every single episode of Parenthood.
Oh, you did?
Yes. Yeah, I'm a huge sucker for a family drama. But it's also because I was on one when I was a kid for like 3 years. And it was such
It's a-
whole experience just shaped me in such a way and was so special.
It really is a family. Like,
really is.
You're spending so much time with them.
There's no way you can be doing that kind of material and connecting and putting yourself in those places without bringing in your own shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it just comes out
Yeah.
even when you don't expect it. And you have these moments with actors where you see something in their eyes and they see something in yours and you know it's real and you don't know where it's coming from,
Right.
but you like hold hands when you're done. 'Cause you're like, and you just showed me a piece of your soul and I just want to acknowledge that happened.
Yeah.
And
I just saw some trauma.
Love you forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely some trauma I just saw fly
Who
by.
hurt you?
Yeah. Have they been prosecuted?
Yes.
Do you have
Probably not.
siblings?
I do. I have 2 older brothers, and then I have a little sister and a little brother
Oh my
who is only a
goodness.
year older than my son because my dad and my
Father.
stepmom had a baby later on. Yeah.
I could have guessed what parent had a child 4 years ago.
Yep, that would be my dad.
So you had 2 older brothers, and did they get into it at all?
Yes, my brother is an actor and also is helping to run my father's theater now. He's like basically like going
Taking
to take it
over.
over. And he's brilliant. Honestly, my brother Ira is one of my acting heroes. And, you know, he was 3 years older than me. So we were like frickin' frat growing up and we were always making movies, doing skits. He taught me everything I've ever learned about comedy. And he still inspires me to this day. He's amazing. And then my oldest brother is a musician. He's an amazing drummer. And then
I was bracing myself for you to say he's in prison.
Oh, wow.
I'll tell you why. There was a small
Seems
semantic
extreme.
thing where he said, "My older brother," you just use singular, and I was like, "Oh, something happened to the other older brother," where we're now not talking about him in the present tense. Anywho, I really got buckled up, and I was like, "Oh my goodness,
oh God, what's
manslaughter or
gonna happen?
something's coming my way."
No.
Okay.
He's fine. He's had 4 kids and doing really well.
Your mom and dad obviously they had no room to say like go to law school. Like-
No, but weirdly enough, I've been studying law this year. So
Oh, you have?
yeah.
Why?
I do a lot of domestic violence advocacy work.
Okay.
And part of that is learning everything you can about the laws to see what's working and what's not. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, it's actually been a thing.
Now, are you in pursuit of an actual degree?
I have toyed with the idea of passing the bar to have the knowledge. And because kind of what we were talking about, like growing up, my main job was acting. And I obviously did school, and you do school mainly in a trailer.
Yeah.
And you're just doing it so that you can work. You're just kind of rushing through it. You're not really retaining, at least for me. I loved my teacher, and I actually did get a lot more one-on-one than I did in public school. But yeah, it just, my career took off at a really young age. And so I don't know. I never studied anything like that or really.
Well, it's a
to-
ton of fun, as maybe you're
I'm
discovering.
a nerd though, so I love it. Yeah,
I'm being
really-
serious.
yeah,
My
okay, good.
favorite moment was UCLA. Like I fucking loved going to classes and learning.
Yeah.
It's so fun. That's Monica and I have a pact in our retirement. We're going to return to college.
Yeah,
and
we're just going to sit in on lectures.
and accumulate
Yes.
weird degrees.
Yeah.
Like next time you
Yeah.
meet me, I might be an architect. We don't know yet.
Slash.
But that's everyone, not just actors. Like every kid, no one's taking in what they should be
Yeah.
taking in because they don't know yet the value.
Exactly. Yeah.
It
I
takes a
really
long time.
love learning now,
Yeah.
especially things that I feel really come in handy right now, like law.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Know your rights.
Yeah.
What is the attraction to working with domestic abuse?
I'm a survivor myself, and it wasn't until very recently that I really came to terms with everything and was even able to identify what had happened.
Right.
Because when it happens, it's very complicated, and you lie to yourself. You're being lied to. You're being gaslit. You're in a dangerous situation. You give up. You lose a sense of self,
Right.
and a sense of reality because you're stuck in this kind of nightmare for a while.
Yeah. People jump right to, oh, you were physically abused. How could that have happened? Right.
Yes.
But they don't realize there's generally like 8 really strong steps en route to there.
Yeah,
Does
there's
that
a
happen to
lot
you?
of precursors.
Are you
yeah.
watching the R. Kelly thing?
I did watch it, and I related a lot to it. And I was really glad that we were having a lot of those conversations because there's a lot of ways that you can be abused that aren't physical.
Right.
And there's a lot of really complicated ways that somebody can control you and prevent you from leaving a situation without ever having to restrain you. That we don't really
Right.
talk about. It's always like, oh my, if somebody hits you, just leave. And what they don't talk about is the person that hit you is somebody that you love very much.
Sure.
And for a long time has been very nice and very charismatic and very sweet, and you've seen this amazing side to them, and you don't want to believe that's who they are, and it progressively gets worse. You know, it's not something that just sort of
Yeah, you want to think it's an anomaly,
yeah.
and they're certainly then apologizing like crazy
Of course,
and being
yeah.
the best version of themselves.
and
that
then
you
you're
loved.
walking on eggshells to prevent another incident, and then there's tension building, and then there's another explosion, and then you start the cycle over again.
What did you think of what was the show Sharp? No. What's on HBO right now with all the ladies?
Oh, Big Little Lies.
yeah.
I thought that was a really great portrayal of what it is like and the complexities behind it.
Yeah, I found that. I mean, obviously, having never been on either side of that relationship, I just remember watching that, going, "Whoever wrote this has lived this. Like,
Yes.
this is so specific. I have to believe this is accurate."
It's very accurate. Yeah.
And the whole, like, the fact that their sex life became predicated on that, and that was really the only way they had sex. And I was like, oh, this is a much deeper thing than I give it credit for. Well, my mom was in here, and one of my stepdads was physically abusive, and it never even
Sorry to hear
occurred to me. Thank you. It never even occurred to me to ask. She's the most honest human being in the world. Nothing was ever hidden from us. But it didn't occur to me until I was interviewing her. Wait a minute, you're like a crazy strong woman. How did you end up in that? And her answer was her shame over having had a failed marriage once before was keeping her. She just couldn't handle the shame of having failed a second time.
Right.
And I was like, oh my God, well, I totally know shame. That is like the most powerful weapon out there against us, right?
There's absolutely. There's a lot of shame, and because of all these misconceptions about what domestic violence is and what it looks like, and there's so much victim blaming. Yeah, it's scary. It's scary to come forward with that.
So in the R. Kelly example, his pattern starts by call me daddy when we're having sex. And people are like, oh yeah, I'll call you. I'll call my wife
People have
whatever the
their
fuck she
things.
wants. If that
Right.
helps her, great. I'll call her Chicken Little, whatever. So you're like, okay, I'll call you daddy. And so that starts, and then you're getting familiar with that. Wave 2 is you call me daddy all the time, not when we're having sex, but now I'm always daddy. And then it was, I want you to wear these certain outfits. And you're kind of like, well, I want my partner to be attracted to me. And all of a sudden you're calling him daddy all the time. You're wearing all these outfits. And then it's, I don't want you to talk around my friends. So now you're not allowed to talk. And then it's, you got to ask me when you're going to go to the bathroom, when you're going to eat, when you're going to drink. And I was like, oh, this is far more complicated than he likes young women. There's like a lot of different gears in that transmission.
Yeah, he sounds like he might be an actual psychopath, and definitely has a god complex and is definitely narcissistic. But that is how it starts, and how it can get so complicated.
And were you able, though, to find sympathy for him at all while watching that?
No, I understand that he may have had a very rough childhood, and that is part of the tragedy. But a lot of people get abused and don't abuse other people. It definitely raises a lot of questions, but I think as a survivor and the responsibility that we have, I think that he should definitely be prosecuted.
Yeah. So let me start by saying I think he's a monster.
Yeah.
I think he's totally a monster, and I think he's ruined a bunch of people's life. If all that stuff is true, I actually don't know that. I don't want to get sued by anyone. But assuming that documentary was an accurate portrayal, the guy's a fucking monster.
Yeah.
But there was a little part of my brain going, well, it's kind of like an STD. You're like mad at the person that gives you an STD, but someone gave that person an STD. Like everyone's a victim.
Well,
in
it's
this
a virus.
Whole chain.
Abuse is a
Yeah.
virus that spreads from person to person. And that is why it is so sad. And, a lot of abusers that beat their wives or their intimate partners grew up in domestic violence households and either saw a family member being beaten or were beaten themselves. And this is why it's a cycle.
Yeah.
And this is why we have to put things into place, especially prevention and education, so that people know how to prevent it. There were a lot of things that happened to me that I just had no idea about. I was so young, I didn't know the things to look for. I didn't know that I was being abused. I thought I was with a very complicated person, and
Right.
that I was being strong. And I think that's
was
something.
it fulfilling any romantic fantasy of yours about being in a Sid and Nancy relationship?
Oh, 100%. I mean,
Yeah.
but that was in the beginning. It was very like, it's me and you against the world, man.
Yeah, no
And
one
like,
understands
we're both
us.
outcasts and no one understands us. And yet you feel like you are a part of something really special.
Yeah.
And they make you feel
unique.
really special, and they make you feel like they need you. And, much like what they spoke about in the documentary, they usually share something very personal with you that makes them vulnerable, and you go, oh,
Yeah.
okay, I see where this comes from, and it's not your fault, and so I'm going to excuse this behavior. And then, from there, it gets worse and worse. And the other thing they touched upon is, these were girls that had a dream. They really
It's really bummed.
thought they were
yeah.
getting an opportunity to do something great with their lives.
Yeah.
And that's the part that I think makes him a little more psychopathic, is because he knows it's malicious. It's a pattern of behavior that,
Yes.
is repeated.
It was calculated. And premeditated.
Yeah.
He was
the
picking
people
on
that
people.
you can prey upon, yeah.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
Confidence. It's listening to your gut. It's moving forward, even when the path ahead is unclear. For nearly 160 years, Pacific Life has helped people keep their promises, building confidence for generations. Whether you're confident in your financial future or just beginning to envision it, we're here to help. Ask a financial professional how. Pacific Life, the power of a promise. Pacific Life Insurance Company, Omaha, Nebraska, and in New York, Pacific Life and Annuity, Phoenix, Arizona.
So here's a really interesting dynamic about all of this. We just talked about it for the first time a few weeks ago. So I was molested.
God, I'm sorry.
That's all right. So I was driving down the road and I was listening to the Bikram Yoga podcast. He
Yes, there's this scandal.
serial
Yeah.
kind of molester, rapist, whatever. And you're hearing the accounts of all these women, and it hit me while listening to it. A component of all this that is really hard to talk about, so I only speak on my own behalf about it. But I recognized it in these women who were victimized by Bikram. I wanted something from the guy who molested me. And so there were moments where I was in a situation I did not want to be in, and I knew I didn't want to be in it, but I stayed because I wanted something. The person had leverage over me, as Bikram had leverage over all these women. And I think for myself, I was like, you know what the real shame of that experience was? I can accept that I was 7 and didn't know better and all that. And he, of course, is the monster and the perpetrator and all that. But deep in my soul, I know I stayed in a situation that I shouldn't have been in. And that's where the real healing for me is going, I admit that. I admit I didn't listen to my inner voice. I wanted something and I put myself in a situation I shouldn't have been in. And I forgive myself for that.
Absolutely.
Because I was 7.
Yeah.
And when I hear all this talk, I don't really hear the personal voyage of people who have been in this. And I have to imagine it's a really important piece of the puzzle.
Forgiving yourself. Absolutely.
Yeah, like just owning your own mistake and then forgiving yourself from it.
Absolutely. There's so many things that I look back on and I know I'm not proud of, and a lot of behaviors that came out as a result of me not knowing how to process what had happened to me, and I was acting out and I was really impulsive and defensive, and on the surface it would have seemed like I was an asshole, but I was really suffering, and so that is definitely something to keep in mind.
And have you had therapy for it?
Absolutely.
You have,
yeah. But it took me 7 years to even be able to cry about it. Because I really walked away going, if I'm in pain because of this, then they win. And so I'm just not going to let it hurt me. And I just wanted to forget it had ever happened and just press on.
Yeah,
and keep moving. And, I was a shell of a person. I'd had to sacrifice so much of myself to keep somebody happy that by the end, I didn't know who I was anymore.
Right.
And I was ashamed of so many things that I had done and been a part of because I felt like I had no other choice.
And you also, I imagine, you have an identity for yourself that is, you are strong and outspoken and brave in these things, right?
Yeah.
So it's threatening to your identity to have been in that situation, which is the most threatening thing you can experience.
Yeah. But I think it is absolutely important to lift the shame about it. Because once you do process things and you're able to look at it more objectively, and because a lot of people walk away and you lie to yourself to make sense of what's happened to you, and you say that this is my fault. I put myself here. I should have left. I should have known what I was getting into. I should have shoulda, and it's obviously not that easy.
Right. Okay, so I think it must be an interesting voyage to end up there to begin with. So you're first just acting in on the stage with your family, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you start doing it professionally pretty young, like at 10 maybe? Is that when you do your first
My
movie?
first feature film was when I was 9. Yeah, that was my first. The first time I was number 1 on the call sheet.
Uh-huh. That's
in every
pretty
scene.
young to be number 1 on the call sheet.
Yeah.
I'm racking my brain if I've even been number 1 on the call sheet at 44. Were your parents apprehensive, or were they like, because certainly in their little community theater in Raleigh, you're like, absolutely, this is playtime, do this. But then when I assume you started expressing interest in like doing it professionally?
It really just kind of happened.
Okay.
I would audition in Wilmington. There was a lot more filming going on there, and we knew some casting directors out there. And they initially called my parents because they were casting something, and they knew that they had a daughter my age. And I remember it clear as day. My mom got the phone call. She picked it up, and she turned to me and said, "Evan, would you want to be in a movie?" And I kind of shrugged and went, "Okay, like whatever."
Yeah. When does it start?
That's literally how my career started. Like, it's ridiculous. And I just sort of kept doing it, and every now and then I'd get a little part in something, and it was just kind of a fun thing to do. And then, yeah, that was the first time. It was really the whole production was on my shoulders, and so I got a taste of what that felt like, and it was extremely hard.
And were you in another state for that?
I was in North Carolina still.
Oh, you were? Okay.
Yeah. But that's when I started thinking I think I want to do this for real.
Yeah, and what aspects appealed to you? Well, let me back up. What kind of kid were you? Like up to that point, were you like? Did you have a ton
really
of friends?
Hyper.
You were hyper.
I was a hyper kid, and I don't know. People always used to call me an old soul. I hung out with adults most of the time. I was a real tomboy, really rough and tumble, but I just loved movies and I loved music.
Yeah.
And to me, I grew up in a house where that was everything. That was my religion. It was just. And my life was people and emotions and expression and connecting. And then I came to LA when I was 10 and took acting class Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, and I helped teach on Saturdays. And I was one of the only kids that they let come into the adult classes. And, you know, I didn't always get to do a scene, but I actually got to like sit and watch. And I was just constantly taking in.
And did mom come with you for that? Or
Yeah,
did
she
Dad?
taught there at the time
she did.
as well.
And at what point are you like, you're making a living? You're
Probably when I got onto my family drama Once and Again when I was 12. I did that for 3 years, and then that show got me 13, and that was it.
okay. So from 12 to 15, you're on that show. And what is it like being 12 to 15 in Hollywood, like acting on a show? Were you on to any of the nightlife aspect? Did you?
No, I was kind of kept under lock and key because there were so many failed child star stories. Actually, if you Google child star, it's the most depressing thing you'll ever see because the only thing that comes up is death and drugs and all the fucking horrible aspects.
They don't
and
show
just-
Ron Howard.
No, and they're just ripping apart. It's terrible. It's, you know, it's so it's just fodder. So because of that, they were very, very protective of me, my family, and, you know, the people, my agents and people of that nature. But because of that, I think I felt really suffocated at times and really claustrophobic because I felt like I wasn't allowed to do anything wrong.
Yeah.
And so I didn't, you know, I was maybe too well behaved, which is maybe why I like went ape shit in my 20s.
I was just gonna say, I've had like an armchair at a distance theory about you for years now.
Oh, God.
And I've been dying to know, like, yeah, if I'm at all close to what it was. But to me, I was like, that person really wants to rebel. And why would you really want to rebel? And I'm imagining because you were perfect and that's daunting and oppressive, and you kind of want to just go fuck all this.
Yeah, and there was a lot of things I was dealing with that I didn't know I was dealing with. I was also in the closet, and I had a lot of ideas about who I was and what I wanted to be, and I didn't feel like I was able to express any of them. You know, things like the color of my hair and the way I dressed, and everything seemed to be controlled, and my life was mapped out for me very early, and I knew that I could do that if I wanted to. I could see it and I knew how to do it, but it didn't feel authentic. And I also felt like, hey, I need to fall apart for a second. I need to go live my life.
Be a kid, basically.
Be a kid, yeah, and find out who I am. And if I do that and I still want to do this and I want to come back, then, that's my answer. And I think as a woman too, and especially as a child star, and I think, I don't know, this is just a theory, but because you are so preserved and kept in, under lock and key and, like a porcelain doll on a shelf, there's also a problem there about how we never really allow women to explore their sexuality or to own it or to look at their bodies like something that belongs to them or that is there for their pleasure or that they can enjoy and that they can own. And I think being a child star reinforced that idea about my body, that it belonged to other people and that I was there to please other people and that I would do whatever you say. What do you want me to wear? Who do you want me to be? What do I got to do? Who do I got to smile at? That shaped me in a way, set me up for sort of the path of my adulthood, which wasn't always a good one. Do you think taught me a lot?
Did you at all fall into the kind of pattern you see in some Disney stars where it's like they're so G rated for so long?
By the way, I grew up with a lot of those Disney stars. The Disney Channel kids are the worst.
No, I know. I know some
That's
of
where
them.
the parties were at.
I know some of them in sobriety, and I can tell you, a lot.
I don't mean the worst,
shit.
like bad people. I just mean like, they were having fun. They were being kids. They were getting into trouble.
Some of those kids were smoking crack.
Okay,
I know personally.
That I was not around, and that's very sad.
Yeah. But there is this kind of pattern. I can think of several people where they were in the Disney world and they wanted to own their sexuality, to distance themselves from this thing where they were highly controlled. And sexuality seems like the easiest, most accessible way to do that loudly.
Yeah.
And I wondered if you at all felt like that was a way you would define yourself as an adult as opposed to this kid.
Definitely. And I think you'll see a lot of that. And, a lot of the times, once you become of age, you really kind of like blow the doors off. And all of a sudden you're like, whoa, what are they doing? And for me, it was because I had always felt so prim and proper. And I felt like I had a right to be sexual and to be sexy and to own that. And I always told myself I wasn't doing it for anybody else except me. It was just a side of myself I wanted to explore. And I think I did, and I got a lot out of it. And then I figured out what worked and what didn't work and what
was sustainable,
actually,
maybe.
Yeah, what was sustainable, and also like why I'm really doing it. And I've been.
Well, you can't always know.
You can't always know. No, until you do it. That's the whole thing.
Generally, my pattern is that after I've ruined the thing, when I'm trying to make sense of all of it, I can then see, I thought I was doing it because of that, but now I recognize I was just trying to regulate my emotions internally with all this external shit. Yes, I was horny, but that wasn't the end of the story. There was more to it.
There's so much more, yeah. And a lot of our greatest lessons come from our greatest mistakes. And unfortunately, a lot of child stars have to make all of their mistakes in front of people, and they're amplified. And we aren't very compassionate. We just immediately call them crazy.
Were you able, in that period from 12 to 15, were you dating? Did you have any social circle? Did you live at the Oakwood apartments and know other young people?
Yes, I did live at the Oakwoods briefly. And then I was actually a Kenwood kid.
Did you know
there
Josh?
were the Oakwood kids and the Kenwood kids?
Oh.
So but we were, it was like West Side Story. Sometimes we cross the streams.
So when you read 13, were you like, A, did you just genuinely love it? And then B, were you like, oh my God, this is the perfect departure from this family show I'm on?
No, I actually turned 13 down multiple times.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, it's, I read it and I was 14 when I read it. And no one was really making those movies at the time. There was Kids, the Larry Clark film. And then that was kind of the last one of its kind. We hadn't seen one in a while. And there were certainly not roles like that.
Well, they don't let girls act like that.
No.
They'll let boys, but they don't let girls do that.
Yeah, absolutely not. So when I read it, I just assumed that they wouldn't get it right. I just assumed they didn't know what they were talking about because I hadn't seen it.
Is Nikki Reed the other gal in it?
Yes.
Yeah. And she wrote it,
She
right?
co-wrote it with Catherine,
right.
the director. So a lot of it was based on her experiences. but I just didn't trust it. I really
It just seemed too high risk.
Yeah, it seemed too high risk, and I knew that if it wasn't done right, then it was going to be a disaster.
Yeah,
of
child
epic
pornography,
proportions.
basically.
So I was scared. Yeah, I was just scared. I just didn't trust it.
What did your mom think of it?
You know, my mom was always really supportive of my decisions acting wise, and even if it was something slightly controversial, I think because she was an actor herself, she saw the reasoning behind it and could see that it was being done in a way that was actually trying to teach something and not, exploit us, and that it had great potential.
Also, it's kind of like a dream role to play.
Yeah.
Like to play a fucked up, conniving kind of that's like the juiciest shit you could play if you're an adult.
is, yeah.
You're super drawn to that.
Yeah, and it was just really real because it was that, but then it also showed what happens behind closed doors and where it comes from and the pain and the relationship with her mom and the self-hatred that she had, and a lot of things that girls go through, and it's not often discussed. So no, it wasn't until I went in and I met with Catherine Hardwicke in person after turning it down a couple of times. They said, just go meet with her. She really wants to talk to you. And
this is why I won't meet with people, because I'm like, no, the person will just win me over, and I'll end up in something I don't want to. I know you don't want to do it. I don't want to now go be won over.
But it could be that.
I know.
Yeah.
So you
I'll never find out.
Yeah.
And so I did, and she showed me this whole presentation of how she wanted to shoot it and what she wanted it to look like, and I was really taken aback by her vision for it and the images. And then she talked to me like I was a person. I felt like I could tell her anything, and we just talked, and I told her about my life and I told her about my experiences, and it felt like I was being validated in a way that I never had before. And then I realized why she was making it and that she really understood it. And then I walked out of there and I called my agents and I said, okay, actually, I have to do this movie. It's incredibly important that it gets made, and we got to do this. But we had no idea. I mean, it was super low budget, and we really got to collaborate on that too. I think it was a really messy acting experience. We were just completely integrated into the story. We would stay in the house that we shot in, and Nikki and I became like best friends, and like we were kind of in love with each other, kind of hated each other, and like it became this thing, and like we were inseparable. And then we again on set, they listened to us because we held the key to the authenticity, and they wanted to hear it from us and to let us be able to show them like what it's actually like, and to actually have input. And so that was hugely important,
especially at that age. To be,
and I think me and Nikki were both able to articulate it in a way that made sense, and to be able to translate it on screen. And Holly Hunter is just
the best we've got.
Angel.
Yeah,
she
I love her so
really,
much.
I love her to death. And she hadn't even had kids when she did that movie, and she was
really?
So I think it's so hard to play. Now that I have kids, I can usually tell when somebody is pretending to be a mom.
Yeah.
Can you?
Well,
or
yes,
like a parent?
yes, I can. And in retrospect, having shot Parenthood without having had kids,
right.
I'm just like, oh my gosh, that would now be so much easier to do than it was then without them, because it was just completely theoretical at that point. I didn't let you finish though. Did you like have a social life? Did you date?
Oh God, yes. So I did. I had a high school sweetheart who was one of the Kenwood kids. He was one of the actor kids. We went to acting class together, and then I actually fell in love with Brady Corbet, who played my brother in 13, and we dated for a few years. And now he's like winning awards at the Venice Film Festival and stuff. He's like this amazing director. We always knew he would be, but he was a big influencer in my life. He gave me my film education, like really expanded my film education to foreign films and to a lot of stuff I hadn't been exposed to. And
was he older than you?
No, he was actually a year younger.
Oh, good for you. I immediately went to this was an older gentleman who's educating you on French noir.
He honestly hasn't changed since he was a teenager. Like he was very beyond his years then. I think
picture
I'm
you
so
guys
affected by
like
that time.
way too old for their age. Like you get 14 listening to NPR and drinking coffee in the morning.
We were kind of like we were the ones like haggling with the people at the New Art to let us in to see the R-rated movies, the French films. We're like, Lude, come on, man! Like, we're not trying to buy beer. Like, we just want to watch this movie. Like, we're just like film geeks.
We just want to see some verite, bro. My God, what's
I want to
it
read
take?
some subtitles, man. So yeah, and so again, it was just always about movies and.
Well, I imagine after 13, you have to like actually get very mindful of what comes next, because I'm assuming you have not the keys of the kingdom, but something similar to that, right? You got
Get your foot in the
nominated
door.
for a Golden Globe.
And so that was 0 to 100. All of a sudden, I think when I got nominated for the Golden Globe, I was.
And now you
15.
really have to go like, okay, so now I have a lot more options. So
Yeah.
it's kind of important what I pick.
Yeah, it was a nightmare.
It's very stressful, isn't
It was
it?
very stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because before that, I just did it. And it was
Yeah.
always like a big surprise to people. And it was like, watch this because you don't know what's coming,
Yeah.
And I was really confident and I was confident in my abilities. And then all of a sudden, everyone was looking at me and they were expecting greatness. And that was.
You start
new.
feeling fraudulent, maybe?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I had a really hard time the next movie that I did because I was extremely nervous. And I had never gotten nervous before that.
Yeah, it's like having like your first album be a gigantic hit, or it's daunting.
It is. Yeah.
And was there an actor that you were like had set your sights on, like, oh, that's the career I want? At that age,
Jodie Foster was always
okay,
the thing.
always Jodie Foster.
It's always Jodie Foster.
Interesting.
Yeah, she's actually isn't she the model for the Coppertone baby?
Is she?
I believe so.
Well,
and I
I'll
think
have to
she
look
was
it up.
she was in the commercials as a kid because there's a story. Remember, she got attacked by a lion or something
What?
along those lines. I looked
Oh,
this
wow.
up. This is a real story.
Wow.
Yeah, when she was a kid,
I will not
She got in a
fuck
tangle
with wild cats,
with
by
a
the way.
lion. Yeah, no.
Yeah. Whenever they've been like the bear, I worked with the big bear before. But I will not fuck with lions. I don't care if there's like an electric.
would you?
No, this is my favorite thing about. I don't know if you ever heard Mike Tyson on Stern, but he's the best interview ever. He's the most honest human being probably ever to be interviewed. And Howard's like, didn't you have tigers at one point? And he's like, Howard, I was crazy. I had these 2 tigers. I slept with them every night. I wake up in the middle of the night. They're fighting each other, Howard. I wake up in a bed with 2 tigers fighting each other. I'm like, that's a real thing.
That's a real
He lived
shocking
in a
thing.
bedroom with 2 tigers and would go to sleep. Who would be that confident
Fuck.
that they would just tear you to shreds in the middle of the
I
night?
don't know. Somebody's obviously got a lot of issues. I don't know.
So when you hear that story, does your mind go straight to, oh, he was convicted of? Like, do you get nervous if I tell a Mike Tyson story and
Well,
you
obviously,
seem to
my
be
first
going,
thought is like,
yeah, yeah. I was just like, as I was telling it, I'm like, oh, I wonder if that's like a kind of triggering person to bring up. And are you worried if you laugh at the story, you're somehow condoning that?
no.
Yeah.
I mean, because
okay.
I'll go into how I feel about all that. But, you
Right.
know, yeah, that sounds weird. And maybe grandiose,
Crazy person.
eccentric,
Yeah.
sociopathic, I don't know.
Well, and he's like very admittedly like I was crazy. He's like, I thought I could talk to them, Howard. He
Yikes.
thought he was communicating with tigers. Okay.
Oh, man.
Enough about him. So you were thinking Jodie Foster. So after 13, what comes next
So my first role after that was a film called Down in the Valley.
with Edward Norton?
Yes. Yeah.
And you play his lover?
Yeah. I was 16.
Whoa.
Right.
It was my first sex scene.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Wait, and were you playing You were playing a teenager.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Well, this
It
is
was
something.
not supposed to be a good relationship. He ends up like, well, I don't want to like give it away, but yeah.
I think you
it's
can
not
give
a-
away down
It's
in the
been out
valley.
for like 15 years, right?
No
yeah, I think we're
spoilers.
fine. Yeah, I mean, he like shoots her. So
Okay.
yeah, no, it wasn't. It's not a good thing.
It's
Ooh,
not a
boy.
good thing. And this becomes the first part of a pattern that I realized while reading about you today. You've played a bunch of people's really younger lover.
Yeah,
And what do you think about that?
I've actually been thinking about a lot recently, actually. Because, when you're that age, you feel older.
Sure.
And you don't see yourself like that. And it's harder to take a step back and go like, should we?
No, you're just excited that you're going to be peers with somebody
Exactly.
that you totally respect and has won an Academy Award. Like, to be peers with Edward Norton is an incredibly amazing opportunity, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it was a great experience making the movie. And Edward and I are actually still really good friends. I don't know how I feel about it because on the one hand, I feel like it was not a good relationship, and I'm hoping that I hope the message wasn't that this was okay in any way.
Yeah.
Because I hope that's what we were showing, but I do think about that. I think about it, even when I do Westworld, which, obviously the themes in there are about human nature and violence and existentialism and things like that. But I, of course, think about, wow, I'm on this really violent show. But I think things like that are a double-edged sword a lot of the times because sometimes you can't get a certain message across without that
The
or
spoonful
without
of sugar.
showing it.
Yeah.
Or showing for what it is. So it's hard. I think a lot of artists and filmmakers have to ask themselves those questions a lot.
Well, a lot of things are happening simultaneously that are all true. So you, at no point in any of these roles, were disempowered. You were empowered. So there's there's no issue for you personally in the moment.
Right.
The experiential part of your experience. Yet in reflection, you can probably go like, oh, wow, I'm a part of this well-worn thing where male writers write stories about old men fucking young girls.
Totally.
And, oh, wow, I was a part of all that. Even though I was empowered during it, I was like...
I was, but also, I was going after the good roles. I was going after the roles that I thought were the best of the bunch. And so that also tells you
what
how
roles are
limited.
available.
Yeah, they are.
Totally.
And especially when you're that age, you're usually the ingenue, you're either manic pixie dream girl or you're the virgin, and you're this thing. And it's hard to see you in any other way or with depth, which is why I love 13 so much. So for a while, it was just like, okay, I think I'm just going to be the sex pot for a while or do my best to at least have some depth in that because there's not a lot of stuff to choose from when you're in that age.
Right. So
range.
one of the appeals had to be, well, these are movies with great actors and I want to be a part of them and this will be a fun role to play. What part of it was also like, oh, I'm at an age now where I want to display my sexuality? Like how much of it was your own like, yeah, that's exactly what I want to play?
I never really went after them for the sexuality aspect of it, but I don't think that came into play. I think it was really about the directors and it was about the actors and it was wanting to do good work with good people. But obviously, looking back on it, you go, "Oh, did I help normalize this idea of younger women?"
Well, I'm in.
men,
By the way,
or-
I'm in no way implying that you
No.
should have any guilt over any of this. that I'm not going like, let's make a judgment about those.
No, but I think I'm just being honest. It's like, of course, I've had that thought.
I also think you were in likely the last paradigm where that's a thing. Like that was what movies were at that time, and I don't think going forward it's going to be a thing really in the future.
It's becoming less and less normalized, which I think is a good thing.
And by the way, I've been socialized in that paradigm. And even the other day, like our friend Hannah has this amazing new song. She wants to make a video. And I said, please, let's dance in the video. So then we started coming up with this whole thing. At a certain point, I had to go into the bedroom and ask Kristen. I'm like, I told her the idea. And she's like, oh, that's great. And then I came in at one point and I'm like, am I the guy? Like, I'm 44 and I think it's fine that I'm dancing with this 23-year-old girl. Like, am I just, am I blind?
Am I doing the thing?
Yes, am I doing the thing? Because it feels completely normal. Like, I've come up with a conceit where that's part of the whole thing, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, some voice was like, oh, God, I think you're maybe participating in this thing where you think you should be dancing with a 23-year-old in a video.
But it is so normal. I mean, that's the thing. It's even when I was doing those movies, it was normal.
What else is complicated is in real life, younger women go out with older men.
Sure, and vice versa as well. you
Well,
know.
not so much vice versa. Like, sadly. But you don't see a lot of 45-year-old women dating 22-year-old guys.
Right.
I've seen it once in LA, and I was very aware of it, as was everyone else.
Yeah, we all know exactly what we're talking
God.
about.
And I was very proud of that female.
Oh God.
And I was like, go get it, girl.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
So it's all complicated because I don't think it's not black and white.
No.
There's like, I don't believe ever in art we should pretending we live in a different reality than we live in.
Right.
So
This is the double-edged sword aspect of it. Yeah.
Yeah, like part of it is like, no, I'm going to write what shit is real. That's what my obligations to do that. And this is part of what's real. But then yet this perpetuates this thing. So it's really all complicated. I'm not all for pretending we live in a world we don't live in.
Right.
And yet I have 2 little girls that I want to have good role models out there in the world for them.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So it's tricky, right?
It is tricky, yeah. My hope is that anything that I have done, I hope there was a lesson behind it. And I feel like it wasn't just there to be gratuitous or, you know, my hope is that I chose things that there's much more to it and more to learn from it. And it's part of the storytelling and it's, you know.
I don't think you would have agreed to do any one of these roles had they been literally a one-dimensional sex doll for this person.
Yeah. But it is, but yeah, it's definitely something that I've thought about.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Now, how are you? So you want to be Jodie Foster? That I can comprehend. But are you not tempted by the low-hanging fruit of like go make a shitload of money? You must have gotten offered like franchisee type stuff.
Yeah, but I have a hard time doing things I don't want to do. It's weird.
I have this unique
but
thing
it makes me
where
really unhappy
Yeah.
if my heart's not in something. And especially growing up, it just wasn't worth it to me. And I just always had this feeling that it might be a slower burn, but that I just wanted to do roles that I connected with or that moved me or that I felt were saying something interesting and that were real. And I felt like integrity still had currency. And I feel like that has
proven
itself, correct in my
Is there any
case.
movie that you either turned down or just didn't meet on or something
Totally.
that you regret the hell
there's
out of?
so many I look back and I'm like, oh, fuck. I should have just done that, man. That was dumb.
Tell me one of them.
Oh, God. Oh, I'd have to think. Well, I think...
Because a lot of these movies turn out to be way better than you think they're going to be,
yeah,
right?
and you're like, shit.
You're like, I remember reading the script for 500 Days of Summer and going, I don't know. Then didn't even want to go see it because I'd already read the script and someone drugged me. I was like, that was a fucking riot.
Yeah.
I should have 100% met him. Like that was, I couldn't have imagined what was in the director's head. Like,
Yeah,
oh.
exactly. Some things it's hard to translate on the page, I know.
Or even like think prior to The Dark Knight, you're hearing like Batman, you're like, I don't want to be in Batman. And then Christopher Nolan directs Batman, you're like, oh wait, I think that was the best movie of the whole year. Oopsies, that was a cool one.
Yeah.
Not that I had any invitation to be in any part.
I did get sent the script for Mean Girls after 13, and they really wanted me to meet on it or be a part of it. And I was already doing a film that was very similar called Pretty Persuasion. And so I turned it down. I chose the other one that I was already attached to. And I love Pretty Persuasion, but obviously, like, no one in this room knows that movie, and everybody knows Mean Girls.
Well,
so it's like,
on top of it, Mean Girls is awesome.
yeah, exactly. So it's like,
God.
well, like, I made a choice, and I...
Again, that's like, that goes into the box of, I don't know, is Tina Fey more than a Saturday Night Live writer? And then you find out in that movie, like, oh, fuck,
Yes.
and then
Yeah.
some.
Yes.
But that's kind of the movie you found that out in.
Right, yeah.
But it's a weird road to go down because let's say you did Mean Girls, like you don't know what the rest of your life would be if you
or if
did
it would
that.
even been as good of a movie if I had done it. You know, it's like obviously it worked because all the pieces fell where they were supposed to,
Right,
and
right.
that's what made it such a success. So like, I don't even think I
Yeah.
should have
If
done.
you had done that movie, we would be doing this interview on a yacht. Okay, we would have helicoptered in.
I don't know, man. Like
So, how does The Wrestler come about?
that one, I was actually the first time I saw Requiem for a Dream, I was doing 13, and it was such a game changer for me, and it really inspired me while I was doing that. It just put me in a completely different headspace. And
Oh, it makes you feel insane. that
oh
movie.
yeah.
Especially the mom who's on Dexedrine, who starts vacuuming uncontrollably, all that stuff.
The acting, the filmmaking, just everything about it. So I became a huge Darren Aronofsky fan. And then he wanted to meet with me on this film. And what was funny is it was kind of right after The Fountain, and which I think people had some people
Sure.
had mixed feelings about. Like some people just fucking loved it, and some were like, I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
And so people were like hesitant
To
to work with
advise
Darren.
you.
And I was like, are you kidding me?
Right.
He's a genius. Like,
Yeah.
where's your head? And then they said, yeah, and Mickey Rourke's attached to it. And like, we just don't know if you should do
Sure.
this. And so I kind of had to fight for that. And say, no, I really think you guys are wrong. And I'm going to do this because it's going to be great.
Yeah.
But I was not being pushed into doing that. I kind of went after it, and I met with Darren, and then he basically said, I want Mickey Rourke to do this, and I think if he does it, you guys would be a really great team. If he doesn't, I don't know who's going to be the person for that.
yeah.
whoever we
what
get.
the geometry would be.
Yeah. So I just kind of waited, and then
Okay. And there's a moment in The Wrestler that is it's tied first place in my very favorite acting moment ever. It's tied with Brando and On the Waterfront. It's after he trashes his store and he gets in his van and he looks in the rearview mirror at himself and he just starts laughing. And I had this moment where like my whole body got chills and I was like, oh, right, that's what I do when I'm embarrassed. I don't go sulk like every single actor would have done.
Right.
I like laugh completely uncontrollably at how embarrassed I am at myself. And I was like, oh my God, what a moment. That got me.
that's great.
But you were incredible in that movie.
Thank you.
I would be very insecure. I would be very nervous working for Aronofsky. It would trigger all my less than feelings. I would just
really?
feel like, am I good enough for this guy?
It really, I love being in those situations, and I made a list of directors I really wanted to work with, and I've done pretty well on them. It was like Aronofsky and Todd Haynes and Julie Taymor and these people that I've grown up loving. And whenever I get in one of those situations, I'm just so happy to be there, and it makes it easier for me to do my job because I know I can just go 100%. And that the person that is, going to catch me and direct me is, somebody I really respect and admire. And so
You
it
know that
actually
they're
makes
not
me
gonna-
work so hard to be as good as I feel like, the person who's making the film.
And you have some confidence where like, oh, I'm not going to get hung out to dry. This person knows what's great and they're not going to put anything in. If I go too far, they know what's too far. Like, is that safety net of like, oh, they know exactly what they want.
Yeah, they're going to be a partner in this. They're going to really
But
be
are
a
there
part of it and direct me.
Are there a million takes?
On The Wrestler, not particularly, no. Sometimes we would shoot really quickly. I think the big scenes with Mickey and I, certainly the fight scene took all night. I split my finger open when we were doing the fight scene. When I was throwing stuff at Mickey, I just grabbed one of the soda cans and squeezed it and threw it at him, and then was doing the scene, and I was like, oh, my hand's wet. Some of the soda must have gotten on it. And I looked down, and it was just covered in blood. And I had just split my finger open, and I started getting faint just at the sight of the blood. I went to lay down, and they were like, okay, so there's like two options. I was like, okay, what are they? Like, so we can send you to the hospital now, and you can maybe get a couple stitches, and then we don't get the rest of the scene. I was like, okay, that's not an option. So
Right,
what's the other
yeah.
option? They were like, we can glue it.
Yeah.
And Mickey Rourke's like looking at you smoking a cigarette, and he just shot, I think in the scene where they're stapling stuff on him, they
Oh,
were actually doing that.
sure,
There's a lot of stuff in the movie that's real. And so what am I going to do? Like,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
You just
I need to go to the hospital.
I need to go. So yeah, I just glued it and moved on. Mickey and I were really good friends for a moment, and I think that was also at a time in my life when I was, really kind of wild and partying. And so.
He seems like the type of person you'd be drawn to out of curiosity.
Yeah. And I think he also saw kind of where I was at and kind of wanted to take me under his wing a bit.
Sure.
Because he could see, oh, maybe you're not in the best place.
Do you like drinking? Do you like drugs? Do you like any of that stuff? Like me? Do you like that stuff? I love that
In
stuff.
my 30s now and with a kid, like I'm definitely not going as hard as I did.
You're done.
I'm done. Yeah, I'm very much done. I think a lot of that was self-destructive and a coping mechanism for things.
Did we meet? Do you remember meeting ever with Marilyn?
I think so. Yes. When was that? But I don't remember a lot of that.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you do.
Yeah. I feel like we did
That
at a
makes
party.
sense.
Yeah.
I think we did too.
I did drugs with him at one point,
Well,
which was
right.
was lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's very open about
His drug use,
use.
as am I.
Well,
I'm very pro experimenting and I'm very anti addiction.
he always says he doesn't trust you if you don't do drugs, which I feel is a trap to get people to do drugs.
Yeah.
Which is kind of fucked up. But
Yeah.
hey, I think there's drugs out there that, in the words of Bill Hicks, there's better drugs and better drugs for you that are not legal. And I think a lot of the legal drugs are actually fucking horrible.
Yeah.
And certain drugs can be used as spiritual tools. And, I definitely think weed should be legal everywhere.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Very pro. I'd even be pro mushrooms being legal.
Absolutely.
I have never. I'm the most addictive person in the world. If you give me cocaine, I am up until it's gone. If that's 4 days, whatever
Yeah.
that is. But shrooms, I have never taken shrooms, and as I'm coming off of them, thought we need more shrooms.
No,
they just
they're
don't
not
work
that kind
way.
of drug.
Yeah,
They do not work that way.
No one's going to be
and
on
if
like
you-
a 3-day shroom bender. I just don't believe that would happen to anybody.
No.
Yeah.
I think eventually they start losing their potency anyway. Like, I
Yeah.
don't even think you could keep that going for 3 days.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like I've spent time in Amsterdam and I'm like, wow, look at this place where drugs are legal and like it's not on fire and everyone seems to be doing really well and they're actually not phased by this and they're kind of rolling their eyes at the tourists that want to come and like freak out, and they're bored of it. So
Yeah.
I think it's
I've been
interesting.
there many times and been like, this seems to be utopia. Would this work at home? I don't know.
I don't know
do think
either, yeah.
I do think I'm often tempted that we should be modeling all these things after different countries,
Right. Well, seeing what works where and why.
Yeah, like that Michael Moore documentary, Who to Invade Next. Did you see that?
No.
It was tremendous. He would basically go to countries that are doing something better than us and say, like, we're stealing this for us. But one of them was like the way they do prisons in Sweden. It's like they're outside all day. There's no walls, blah, blah. The recidivism rate is, 10% instead of 80% like here.
Right.
And so I start going like, yes, this is it. We should do this. But then I also go, much different country, Sweden and our country. I mean, we're 300 million people. The income inequality is so much more dramatic. There's a lot of variables that I
Yes.
think are in the soup of whether or
course.
not legal drugs works or not in
Of
a
course.
certain place.
Yes.
Yeah. So did you leap at Westworld or were you like, no, I'm not doing TV. I'm doing movies. And then also, how much does having a child impact the decisions you make?
Greatly. I wasn't looking to do television, but I have done things with HBO in the past and was always a really big fan and thought they made really great work. And I didn't read the script until I had the part, basically. I mean, we were kind of really walking into that blind, but I knew
Because they just weren't showing it to anyone or
yeah,
they
it was
weren't
just
ready?
so confidential. You kind of had to just
That always annoys me.
trust. Yeah, it's.
I'm like, if you get
an
the whole
interesting
script for a
process.
fucking Tarantino movie, I can get the fucking script for Fantastic Four. I remember auditioning for Fantastic Four, and they're not giving out the script. I'm like, are you fucking kidding? This is not an M. Night Shyamalan movie. A Fantastic Four, you're not going to. I was furious.
Yeah, it was like that a bit. But I did go in and meet with Jonah and Lisa, the creators, and they sort of explained to me a little overview of the park and what would be possible and how they wanted to, the original was in from the perspective of the humans, and this was very much about the perspective of the host. But I really had no idea what show I was going to be on. I didn't know this was going to be like the new Lost, which I was a big fan of. I just didn't know that we were going to go that deep. I thought, okay, cool, yeah, I bet this is going to be a really cool show. It's going to be about robots. It's probably going to, have a lot of really cool special effects, and this seems like a cool part. And wasn't until about episode 4 that I really started to freak out and run around to everyone I knew going, you don't understand. Oh my God. You don't know what we're doing. It's not at all what you think. Holy shit. Like they're doing this. Oh my God. Like I was.
Well, it turns out they shouldn't have let you read the script. You were going around
I
town.
I wasn't telling them the details. I was just going, you don't know what show we're making. I know you think you do, but you don't.
Right.
And I was very excited.
Now, just before Westworld, Kristen and I were huge True Blood fans.
Oh, yeah.
Were you a fan of the show before you went on
I
it?
was. I kind of sought out Alan Ball and was like, hey, man, anything, I'll come on and do it.
Put me in, coach.
Yeah, put me in, coach, please.
I did a bad thing. Yeah. Oh, if I hear that theme song, things start happening to me physiologically.
Oh, yeah.
I have total, Pavlovian response to that theme song. It's so good.
I want to give someone a lap dance. What's going on?
Yes. I want to drink True Blood and give a lap dance.
Yeah.
It's funny too when you shows that you fall in love with. The first time you hear the title sequence song, you're like, I don't know, that's a big swing. Then by episode 5, when I'm like, that's the best song they could have possibly picked for this.
Yes, it's true.
It grew on me in a way that I was like, oh.
Yeah, and then when you heard those first few chords, you were like, oh, it's happening.
So is it really fun because I don't think I've ever been a huge fan of something and then gotten to enter the world.
Yes.
Was it super fun?
It was wild. And that's when I really started questioning the nature of my reality, actually, because I was like, wait a minute.
Right.
This is a simulation.
Yeah. This is
because it's too good. I was starting, I watched the show. I loved the first season so much. And then, just went after it. I didn't go after a lot of stuff, but I went after that. And they were like, well, luckily we have this new character coming on who is the Queen of Louisiana. And I kind of fainted.
Yeah. It was a great.
And then they were like, in all your
role.
scenes, there was Stephen Moyer and Alexander Skarsgård. And I was like,
yeah.
So I had a great time. And it was really trippy to actually then suddenly be a fan of something and then be on the set. And they're like, here are your fangs. And then Steven comes up to me and he's like, right, you want me to show you how to do the flick the fangs out? And I was like, I cannot believe this is happening. All of a sudden, Bill is here and he's teaching me how to flick my fangs out. And what is life?
So you and my wife are going to be in something soon, which is going to be a big fun surprise.
Yeah.
And you're an incredible singer. I can't actually say that because I don't have the musical background to make a qualified assessment. So I always say to my wife, I'm like, she sounds damn good to me. Is she good? And she's like, oh, she's a fucking for real singer. Kristen thinks you're a real gangster singer.
Oh, that's rad.
Yeah.
I love her.
Yeah, so you guys are going to sing. That's all. I'm just going to say there'll be some singing. You look really nervous.
We're getting a little close. A little close to the fire.
So, you're in Westworld. There's more seasons coming, I presume.
Yeah, we're just about to start up again the end of March. I certainly feel like I'm having an existential crisis for real after each season because so much of it is based in reality, in quotations, and on real technologies that are being worked on now. And the more I get to talk to the tech people, the more I really get to learn about it, the more I realize that this is actually very close.
Oh, yeah.
And I start to question my own sanity because now I'm pretty sure we're all in a simulation. I'm just kind of
Well, I have a theory on that though.
Okay, I want to hear it.
Elon Musk is a big proponent of the Matrix
he's
simulation,
a big believer in
right?
that,
I sometimes think Sunday, Nora Jones sat on the couch and sang for Monica, and I was
and
like,
you're like,
no,
there's no way this is real, right?
Yes. So
those moments.
My conclusion is it's believing that we're living in a simulation is the gift of having abundance. I say, no one's in a coal mine right now going this has got to be a simulation. There's just, I recognize we know on some level we have way too much good fortune, way too much good luck.
There's no fucking way this is real.
We're not entitled to this. This is ridiculous. We don't fucking, stack rocks all day to make money. It just feels too good to be true.
Right.
So I think it's a much more appealing theory for people who are just generally spoiled in life, as I am,
Right.
to an
That is an
unfathomable
interesting theory,
degree.
yes.
Yeah. I just don't think the person at Arby's right now slicing beef is like, oh boy, I can't wait to expose this as a simulation. I knew it.
You never know, though, And then there's all that Black Mirror stuff where it's like, oh, maybe we just are forcing those people to be in the simulations because we're taking advantage.
Right. Are they in your simulation?
Right. Whose simulation are they in, right?
Am I in your simulation? You in my simulation? I don't know. We'll just have to see. You are in the position my mother was in. My mom was a single mom, but she had 3 of us. And this bitch found time to date. She made it happen. Is it challenging?
It is. I have managed to date and am currently dating, but for me, just dating in general is really interesting because it's like, hey, I'm a famous bisexual mother of a
Survivor.
5-year-old
Yeah.
and
What
rape
else do you know
survivor,
about
domestic
me?
violence survivor. So who wants to crack at this? It's really, and I think that can be like, ooh, this is exciting to a lot of people. And then they're like, oh, wow, this actually is like, these are real things and not just like fun ideas. And like, I think I'm going to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
You have to be careful when you have a kid. I feel like I'm really conscious of him and keeping him separate from it unless something's really serious. And trying to, because he's still young and he's just now getting to that point where he's like very protective over mom.
Yeah.
Like who the fuck are you?
Yes.
So
I was
you have to
about
be
that
very
age
careful.
and I would start noticing, I've said this before in here, my mom has big boobs and I fucking hated it when she'd wear like tank tops. We go to the grocery store. It was around 5 or 6 where I was like, oh, these men are looking at my mom's boobs. I fucking hate this. Yeah, mom, put on a coat.
Yeah, I think he's in that mode where he's like, right, but I'm gonna get you and dad back together. Like that's gonna happen. It's like, oh, honey.
Yeah.
Oh.
I luckily never had that. I was like, we don't need that guy. I was 3. How old? He was young, 3, 2 as well. How long you been divorced? A year and a half?
He was just a year old. Yeah.
Okay, but he
so-
still wants you guys to be together.
Well, it wasn't until he got older, till about right now, that he understood that, wait a minute.
Other
Wait,
people's
you
parents.
guys were together at
I
one
got
point?
you.
He was like, well, what the fuck happened?
You guys were hooking up?
Yeah, he's like, what?
Yeah.
This was the thing? And like, so, I think it was almost like he had just learned it for the first time and had an understanding what that meant. So he was like, oh, well, I just got to get you two, like, you two guys just got to work this out. Like,
Yeah, Parent
it's like,
Trap.
oh, sweet. It's really complicated. Like,
Yeah. Some logistical issues we'd have to iron out first.
also irreconcilable differences.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is even like my girls are at an age where it's like, I'll mention my ex-girlfriend Bree, and they're like, wait, you loved someone else other than mommy? And I'm like, yeah, I've loved several people before mommy, and then laid with many more that I didn't love. But
Right.
like them realizing like, oh, you were another person that didn't involve mom or us.
Yeah.
I think it's really
How is that
trippy for them.
possible?
But we're just like dead honest, for better or worse.
Well, I think you should be as honest as you can be with kids without,
Yeah.
traumatizing them.
Well, Evan, it's really, really wonderful to me. Oh, no.
Good to see you again.
I didn't
almost
know. I
forgot.
thought you were forgetting on purpose, so I wasn't going to bring it up.
No, I wasn't. So we had a Twitter.
we did.
We had a Twitter thing.
It was so silly.
No, but so I made fun of, I believe, some big game hunters
Yes, like yes,
saying they were compensating for small penises.
yes,
And that's why they got to go out and kill lions.
right.
And then you were like, you're penis shaming, or I don't want to misrepresent your.
No, I think I said something like, "This is an insult to men with small penises," because it was like, oh, don't drag them into this. Like they're like meaning like they're so much
It's
worse.
a different thing.
Yeah, like,
Yes.
and I didn't. And the thing about Twitter, this also happened to me with Ben Affleck, and it became this huge deal in the press. And I was like,
Ooh.
oh my God, if you had heard the tone of my voice when I wrote this tweet, it was the equivalent of an eye roll. And then people hear it like, you're like,
Attack.
fuck you, you're fucking doing this.
Yeah,
You're like,
you're
no,
a
no,
social
that's
justice
definitely
warrior.
not what I was doing.
Yeah.
But I also I did that because I feel this weird responsibility now, especially that I have a son, like the ideas that come with what a man is and what makes a man and da-da-da. And so, especially in this era of like, you know, if you're around something and it might be a joke or it might be this, like you have to say like, hey, just I don't know, like make sure like you're not like penis shaming when you're doing this, because there's a lot of toxic shit out there right now that I don't want to perpetuate. But I also saw where you were coming from.
Well, and I never, you know, I just like you, so it didn't bother me.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the only thing that bothered me was like, I would hate to think you don't know where I'm coming from, which is what I'm making fun of. Two things. I'm making fun of compensating, which I'm against, whatever the fuck your thing is.
Yeah, you were kind of pointing out like, this is silly. Like you shouldn't be compensating for this with this bullshit excuse. Yeah.
Yes. And then of course, killing lions, which I don't really think anyone needs to fucking kill a lion to feel like a man. Just personally, fight me, to come to my house and fight me instead of killing a lion.
Yes.
I'll oblige you. I'm not making fun of small penises.
No.
But a couple things happened. As soon as I saw that tweet, I was like, A, God, I hope she knows where I'm coming from.
Yes.
B, I was like, I know she has a child. I now believe it's probably a boy.
Yes.
Like I went to, you're probably, part of it is being a protective mother of like,
totally
I don't want
that,
my son growing up worrying about if his penis is big enough or not.
Yeah, that's not what makes a man yet.
But what's interesting is, again, this gets into, do we acknowledge reality or do we not? Now, I don't think there's anything wrong with having a small or a big penis. I think both can be pleasurable. I think both come with pros and cons. Some women prefer big ones, some prefer small ones. I think that's the reality.
Right.
But I do know 100% of men are concerned about the size of their penis.
Absolutely, because
and
there's been
for
so
each
much.
other, funny enough.
I have noticed this, and I have brought this up to my male friends, and I've been like, you guys are the ones that talk about penis size.
Oh,
Yes.
I saw them
Women
on here.
do not.
They don't care.
They don't fucking talk about it. Like, you're the ones that are obsessed with it.
Exactly.
100% agree.
So I do know that is a thing.
It
for
is a
sure.
thing, and
people definitely
among
feel like they have to
men-
compensate. Yeah.
And among us men, it's all we think about. You know, from the time you're 12, the size of every one of your friends' penises. It's just
so
like
interesting to me, man.
we're all showing each other.
Yeah.
We're finding out where we rank. We're all obsessed with
Why do
rank
you
and
think that
status.
is?
It's fucking primate social
Right.
group dynamic shit.
Right.
And that's why it's all for men. Because I'm not competing for social status with you. I'm competing with the
Right.
dude next to me. I'm like trying to find out where I fit among the males around me.
Right.
And that happens to be a visual indicator, like height is. So what's interesting
Right.
is, I would also say, don't compensate and be a Napoleon. So I'm not making fun of short people, but I'm saying if you're short, fucking deal with it. Don't be a prick and be an asshole to everyone because you're
Yes.
short.
Yes.
So it's all tricky. It's like,
Yeah.
it
I
is
do
reality.
totally see where you're coming from and why. you said
And if
that.
I had a little boy, the last thing I would want him is like panicking that his little penis isn't big enough.
Right.
So
it was also, I think, definitely being like, hey, let's also not, say that like it's a bad thing. But also, I think it was also a joke of like, "Pff, are you kidding? These guys are like way fucking worse. Like, I'd rather have a small penis than kill a fucking defenseless animal, you dicks. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, like positioning
like,
the corpse
don't
of
bring them into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I know I totally see where you're coming from, and it's a really funny thing
But it did
for us
lead-
to have snagged.
yeah, and it led me into, I was like, oh, well, we should talk about that. And then I was
Yeah.
like, I don't have a great defense for it, other than like I think coming on something that's real,
Yeah.
which isn't really necessarily defensive of it. But it does bring up a broader conversation, which is like, there's still an obligation for comedians to make jokes.
Yeah,
and jokes are
absolutely.
going to have, someone loses in it's the mechanics and the math of a joke. Someone's
Mm-hmm.
going to be made fun of. And as we evolve, which we should, that's going to change.
Yeah.
I recognize it. Yet there's another part of my brain going, y'all, we still need to be able to make. How else are we shaming the guy who kills the lion? Like, there has to be
Right.
a comedic angle to shame that guy without just going, oh, this guy's a piece of shit, which I guess I
Right,
could,
right.
but it's just not as funny.
Right. And you didn't say like, this guy must have a small penis. You were like, he's obviously
Yeah.
compensating.
This guy comes too fast.
Jesus. No, I
Just sends 100 million men to the liquor store immediately.
and when I do things like that, because I've gotten into things with people before, and I've gotten into it with a few people, but they know that I love them, and that like I also am just like, hey, here's my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm totally open to a dialogue about it if you want to have a dialogue about it. I'm not saying you're a shitty person or like attacking your character,
Right.
saying like, you're an asshole for saying this. It's just like, I always like to throw more things into the mix, and if it starts a conversation, sure. But I was worried for a second because I was like, oh no, I hope I didn't do the thing where I just like
lobbed a grenade at me.
Yeah, threw a bunch of hate at him, and like because people are gonna jump on this and be like, yeah, you suck, and like, I was like, oh no, like did I just like unleash the hound? So if I did that, I'm also sorry because I know you can really start some shit that way.
And it's funny because when I'm evaluating whether or not to tweet something, more and more I just don't. But in the past when I'm evaluating it, I'm almost not thinking about who the people I'll offend will be.
Right.
I'm more worried about the people that are in theory on my side, ostensibly on my side, who are going to take it in a much worse direction. Like I'm more scared of the people that would support me than the people that are just blatantly against me.
Right.
So I can totally relate to that of like, oh no, hold on, let's stop calling him a sexist pig. That's not really what I was saying.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Well, you're fun and you're a blast.
Yeah,
and,
you're awesome, man.
Thank you so much for coming in and I'll refrain from those,
Penis shaming.
Yeah, tweets. I can figure out. It's a good challenge. I'll construct it in another way and still point out what a fucking coward someone is who kills a lion.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
All right, love you. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
And now my favorite part of the show, the fact check with my soulmate, Monica Padman.
Gotta be starting something. Got to be starting something. You gotta do. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. You know how to do. Ba-da-da-da-da. That's a song by Mike Jackson.
Yeah. Oh boy, Mike Jackson.
We are not getting sucked into the Mike Jackson vortex.
Okay. Fine.
No, I hurt your feelings again. I can't stop it
You
today.
didn't hurt my feelings.
What do you want to talk about Mike Jackson?
We're not going to.
Let's talk about it.
Evan Rachel Wood.
What if Michael had a middle name? Do you think he would have been as popular? Michael Gary Jackson.
Who's to say?
No.
I bet he would have been. He was very powerful.
When I first said Michael Gary Jackson, I thought it was just a random name that popped in my head. But do you know why I said that? I think because he was from Gary, Indiana.
Oh, really?
I bet that's why Gary popped out.
Maybe.
Like I was going through my little file about what do I know about Mike Jackson.
We don't know where our brains whole information
No, pops.
just pops out. Pop out. Evan
Rachel.
Wood.
Yeah. Do you think anyone calls her?
Of course, that's what I was just about to say.
Say it.
Rachel.
No. ERW.
Oh wow, yeah.
Oh.
Oh, this sounds hard to say.
ERW.
I hope they do. That's fun.
Well, like PT Anderson.
PTA.
PTA. Yeah, people say Paul Thomas Anderson. They say PTA.
Yeah.
And
that's fun.
which I always get confused with a PTA meeting.
Of course.
Parent Teacher Association. What is it?
Parent Teacher
Alliance?
Assembly?
Anus.
Parent Teacher Anus. Yeah. PTA meetings. Do those exist?
Oh yeah,
They do, and they're called that?
I believe so because I'll see people's tweets and stuff where they've like just attended a PTA meeting or something, and I have the same thought you do. Oh, that's still a thing.
Yeah. But you have a daughter in kindergarten.
Yeah, but I've not been to a PTA meeting. I can tell you that much.
Yeah.
But my wife's on the board of the school, which is really responsible of her.
That's true. I'll have to ask her if they hold PTA meetings.
That's very twoo.
Whoa. Yeah, but this was great. I'm so glad we had her on.
Me too.
Yeah. When she left, remember we talked about when people leave, we talk about them.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. We're just little monkeys who gossip like all other little monkeys.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just so funny. We all have these preconceptions of people.
Big time.
And so much of that is because of the media.
Uh-huh. And our imaginations.
And our imaginations, but based off of,
And our jealousies and fears.
Yeah, but based off like pictures or headlines or something, we quickly develop a whole persona.
Yeah, well, we're so as animals drawn to story. So there has to be an accompanying narrative about somebody.
Yeah.
And some people can accidentally just fall into a narrative that the media likes. Like the media, don't forget, the media is a story like any other movie you see where there's a good guy and there's a villain. And I think what we keep learning over and over in here is like almost any human being you sit down with for 2 hours and look in the eyes, you're going to see them as a human.
They're
at
just
the
a
end of it.
person.
Yeah.
I know. And it's all made up.
It's all made up.
Yeah.
It's kind of like this. when I was pointing out about the Michael Cohen testimony. Is I was watching that testimony, and I was enjoying the fact that there was a lawyer being interviewed in the hearing, because generally it's like Mark Zuckerberg.
Right.
And they're like, "Sir, did you have any?" And he's like, "Nope." And he's terrified answering. He's like looking over at 10 other people.
Right.
So it was just fun right out of the gates to see a lawyer be asked questions.
He's in his element.
Yeah. And he could outmaneuver sometimes, and he was ahead, maybe one step ahead of some of those people who aren't lawyers on that committee.
Right.
So that right out of the gates was interesting to me. And then, of course, because of my politics and my liberal view, I'm enjoying that he's saying disparaging things about this person I disagree with.
Exactly.
Right? So that's tasty.
Yeah.
All right, so that starts happening. And then about 45 minutes in, I start actually looking at his face thinking, oh, he's got kind of a deputy dog kind, cartoony face. And I bet this guy's actually fun at a dinner party, right?
Yeah.
So I've come all the way to I think he's great at a dinner party, and I want to hang with him for an evening. And then I have this like epiphany where I was like, oh, wait, 3 months ago, when this person had a different opinion than mine, I hated him.
Yeah.
I looked at his face and I was like, oh, that's one of those piece of shit backroom dealing motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I just filled in all the gaps with my own projection because his opinion was different than mine, or his point of view or his position was different.
Yeah.
And so my whole conclusion after watching that testimony was, I'm so untrustworthy. I'm so not objective. It's like if you agree with me, then I think you're great, and if you disagree with me, I think you're a monster. And I was mostly just embarrassed for myself, and mostly all of us, because all the liberals all of a sudden love Michael Cohen.
Yeah,
and all the conservatives hate him now. But just 4 months ago, it was completely flopped, and we hated him, and they loved him. Person's the same. Person hasn't changed. They're saying different words.
They are,
same
though.
guy.
They are presenting. I mean, you're right. You are right. We're just, it's all so fragile.
Yeah.
But in general, in life, I think it's a good thing that the way people appear to you physically changes based on whether you think they're good or they're bad or
Well, it's great for mating.
It's great for mating.
It's really great for mating because, like, I have friends that I have to remember what I thought they looked like when I met them. So I have some friends that I think are so fucking attractive, like tens. Like, I'm like, what woman wouldn't die to be with this guy?
Right.
Because I just see their integrity, their humor, all these things.
Yeah.
But then I'll go, oh, what was it like when I first looked at him?
Yeah.
I didn't think he was a 10. I thought he was a 5.
Oh.
And I have to remember when I introduce him to a female friend that she's going to initially see a 5 until she lets his personality infect him. It's really interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting.
And so you're right. I think it's a good quality of ours that we'll end up reassigning.
The opposite way, too. If someone's super physically attractive, but they are evil or doing, they're selfish or whatever, it's good that they become less physically attractive to you.
Although that didn't stop these women who are obsessed with, it's not Jeffrey Dahmer. Who was the thing?
Ted Bundy.
Ted Bundy. Yeah. Isn't it amazing that some women know what he did and they don't even deny that, yet they're horny as fuck for him?
That is a pathology, though. That's not like
that's like a Stockholm.
Yeah, that's like some unhealthy
You have
stuff.
rape fantasies or something.
Yeah,
or
some people have some unhealthy
fantasy
proclivities.
Well, remember there was that famous case like 8 years ago where two people met on the internet and the one person wanted to be murdered by a person.
No,
you remember this?
I don't remember. Oh my!
Yeah, the whole
God.
thing was consensual. Their fantasy was to be murdered, and they found someone, and someone drove like 5 states away, and they did it.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's all that stuff is on the periphery. I would say that's not normal healthy behavior for a human, but I think it's
outside of the range.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So anyway,
it is interesting where you draw the line. Like, would you want to be? There's like some safe, like I guess people who like 50 Shades of Grey or whatever. Like maybe they want to be tied up, they want to be restrained, maybe they want to choke a little bit, maybe they want okay, we're all still in the gray, it's fine. Ooh, 50 Shades of Grey. I guess that's why it's called. Yeah, and then when does it transfer over. Even I think about this when people will famously die of autoerotic asphyxiation.
Yeah, I know. It's,
I have never allowed myself to experiment with that because I thought, what if it really is fantastic? That's just way too dangerous of a game to be playing.
Don't do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if we learned anything today, it's to not toy with autoerotic asphyxiation.
Okay, so did Steven Spielberg like wear a bear costume or have somebody wear a bear costume on Close Encounters? Carrie Guffey, who plays little Barry Gueller, I don't know if that's how you say it, had never acted before. The little boy had never acted before. So Spielberg set up ways to coax a performance out of the 3-year-old. To get a shot of Guffey reacting to the aliens first approaching, Spielberg slowly unwrapped a present for the young actor just off camera, making him smile.
Oh, that one's fun.
It is fun. I think it gets a little worse.
A little darker.
And then
Not every scene in the movie is him being happy.
he even exclaims, "Toys, toys!" in the final take.
Uh-oh. What if that was the name of the alien?
It might have been. I never saw it.
Hello, I am Toys, the alien. We come in peace. This is my brother, Sprinklers. My cousin, Licorice.
Those are great names for aliens. I like that.
Beep, beep, beep. He's a robot. I don't even, what am I doing? That's not an alien
We
voice.
don't know alien voice.
We come in peace.
Yeah, sure.
My name is Toys. My brother Presence is here. Well, it'd be even greater is if they came to kill us, but that was their names.
Yeah,
Toys,
it'd
Presents.
be okay. To get the boy to react to the aliens off screen, Spielberg had Guffey walk up to his mark where, unbeknownst to the little actor, 2 crew members were dressed as a gorilla and a clown, standing behind cardboard blinds. When Guffey entered the kitchen, Spielberg dropped the first blind, revealing the clown to scare him, and then dropped the other blind to reveal the gorilla, which scared him even more.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, boy.
The gorilla then
Okay.
took off his mask, revealing the film's makeup man, Bob, who Guffey recognized, causing him to laugh and smile in the final take.
Is there any feedback from Guffey as to whether or not he appreciated all this?
Oh, no. We have to reach out to Guffey. Let's have him on here.
Okay.
Carrie Guffey.
What if he came on and you came out of the bathroom in a bear outfit and sent him back? And we just said, hey, we just wanted to help you go back in time to recall that memory.
Yeah, we're doing a
We're helping him
Scientology-
again.
Scientology experiment. Yeah, I'm sure he has PTSD. Speaking of PTSD, okay,
Here we are.
Jodie Foster, was she the Coppertone baby? And did she get attacked by a lion? A fun piece of trivia associated with Jodie Foster was that she was the model for the Coppertone girl. Wrong. In fact, when the original Coppertone ad debuted in 1959, Jodie Foster was not even born. The Coppertone ad was the brainchild of artist Joyce Ballantyne Brand, who used her daughter Cheryl as the model for the famous ad.
Cheryl Foster.
No, Cheryl Ballantyne Brand.
Ballantyne. Happy Valentine's Day.
Is it true that
Oh my God, do you think they're just pronouncing it's the
with
Spanish?
Indian accent?
No, Spanish. V is B.
Oh,
Ballantyne.
no, I don't. I think her name is Ballantyne. It's
Do
spelled Ballantyne.
Too many letters.
It's a long one.
Yeah, cut it down.
However, Jodie Foster was in a Coppertone commercial. It was a television ad that ran in the 1960s when she was 2.
That's an easy mistake.
Sure. Okay, but when she was on the movie Napoleon and Samantha, Foster was mauled by a lion.
Holy fuck.
Mauled by a substitute lion used in the movie on the set, and still has scars on her back and her stomach.
Oh my God, dude.
She said, I was walking ahead of him. He was on an invisible leash.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
there's no
clearly,
such thing.
yeah.
Let me tell you what an invisible leash is. Air.
Some piano wire.
He was in an invisible cage.
He got sick of me being slow,
Oh.
picked me up and held me
Aye.
sideways, shook me like a doll. I was in shock and thought it was an earthquake. I turned around and saw the entire crew running off in the other direction.
Oh my gosh.
The trainer then said, drop it, and he opened his mouth and dropped me. The incident left her with lifelong ailurophobia, extreme or irrational fear of cats.
There is nothing irrational about a fear of fucking
Exactly.
lions. Are you kidding me? We can't label that a.
I know, cats in general, but they need to have differentiation.
Oh, by the way, terrible news that Rob shared with me today.
What?
You know, I was so pumped that guy killed a mountain lion in Colorado. A guy was on a run in Colorado, got attacked by a mountain lion,
Okay.
and got attacked,
Yeah.
fought it off, and strangled it. And I thought this guy had lived out my ultimate fantasy. I've always wanted to test myself against a large mountain cat.
Of course.
I think they're about 110 pounds when they're big,
Oh my
and I think I could do it.
Okay.
So me and Charlie, the perfect 10, we're sharing the story. You know, all the bros are sharing the story. It's like a dream come true, fight off a cat, protect our family, the whole thing. Well, I went so far, as you recall, to tell Wobby Wob, track that guy down. I want to talk to him on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Well, today, I don't know if it was today, whatever, it was announced.
Okay.
The autopsy was back from the mountain lion, and they're now calling it a kitten. It was only 30 pounds and a few months old.
Okay, but still a lion.
No. A 30, guys.
I thought you meant a kitten, like a little kitten. Kitten on the street.
It's officially called a kitten. It was so young that all cats that are
Okay.
kittens are kittens. He killed a kitten.
No,
Listen,
a lion kitten.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
still
Not
scary.
a tabby cat or something.
Yeah,
right?
that's what it. Yeah, don't short.
But it was
sell
only like 30 pounds or something. They said 30.
Yeah, 30 to 40 pounds, they estimated.
30 to 40 pounds lion. That's still impressive.
Well, the Wildlife Association that conducted this research on the
Okay.
cat, they still commend him. They still said he did the right
Yes,
thing and
that
everything.
sounds
Then
brave.
it got way more specific about the encounter, because he had also hit him in the head with a rock. This kitten got its ass kicked and then strangled. It was a lot different than we all had fantasized.
Okay, well, you guys are nuts, because I think that's still incredibly brave. If a lion, even whether
Kitten, use the terminology.
a lion kitten,
Yeah, there you
you
go.
can't just say kitten. That sounds like a tiny, cute baby cat.
A kitty lion.
And then people would hate that guy if he killed a
No, I think
actual
the
kitten.
guy's a great guy. Let me just be clear.
We love him.
Yeah.
But he was brave. That's brave.
To fight a 30-pound lion kitten?
Yes. A lion is still a lion.
You could kill a 30-pound lion kitten.
No.
Yes.
That would be that lion kitten's lunch.
My ass. I know Maximum Mouse, and when the shit hits the fan, you're all fighter. You're flighter for a while, but then you turn to fighter. Like you're like a bear. Like a bear will run from dogs, okay? Let me tell you about brown bears.
Okay, tell me.
Well, first of all, brown bears are bigger than black bears, okay? Let me also tell you that brown bears are the biggest bears
You sound like
by
Dwight
weight.
on The Office, actually. There's a whole bit. I think there's like a whole storyline, a whole bit that he knows so much about brown bears.
About Ursula. Now listen, brown bears are the biggest bears in the world if we're measuring bears by weight.
Okay.
They're the heaviest bears.
Okay.
Now, polar bear is the tallest bear. We've got like 11-foot polar bears
Mm-hmm.
on record. A black bear, much smaller, few hundred pounds at best.
Cute.
But some of these Kodiaks and shit, we're talking 1,200 pounds of bear.
Oh,
the bear I was in a scene with
Yeah.
was 1,000-pound bear.
What? 1,000
Fucking enormous.
pounds?
Okay.
What even like truly, if he's 1,000 pounds, if he's attacking, is a bullet gonna kill him?
It's got to hit his heart. You could shoot a bear many times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or you're gonna need a headshot to make sure. But back to a brown bear will run from a few dogs. I mean, these hunters, they have dogs, and they'll unleash the dogs on the bear, and the dogs chase the bear. The bear runs till the bear gets tired. And when the bear gets tired, don't want to run anymore, it turns around, it takes out the dogs.
Oh.
Which is weird because it could have always taken out the dogs.
Right.
But the bear will take out the dogs, but now the bear's really tired. And then the bozo fucking hunter who wants to kill this beautiful bear, he steps up on it and unfolds his lawn chair, sits down, and then shoots it. But anyways, my point is, you're like a bear.
Interesting. Well, I like that analogy.
Let me be clear about my position on hunting.
Okay.
Okay? I absolutely believe in hunting. In Michigan, we have a deer problem that if not regulated by hunting, the state has to cull herds of them because they're in the road and humans die.
Yeah.
I'm totally cool with it. You want to go deer hunting? Awesome. Bow hunting? Great. People who do that and they eat it and they feed their family? Great. People who want to go out and kill a predator for their own ego? I'm not for it.
Yeah.
It's preposterous to me. I just want to be clear on my hunting stance.
Okay.
You're right. You're probably what, anti-hunting across the board, or?
I'm pretty anti-hunting. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I am. I mean, but I see what you mean I'm more lenient on hunting animals that there's like some massive excess, but I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't think that should be a sport.
Well, I personally have no desire to end anything's life.
Exactly. Like the
Other than
idea that that's bringing joy.
Unless someone's going
is-
55 in the left lane, I don't want to end anyone's life. Aside from those people who need to be murdered.
Oh, the people that you yelled at on the street today.
Yeah, just one.
There were 2 people in there.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
One. I was yelling at the driver, though, not the passenger.
The nice lady sitting next to him.
With 2 nice ladies,
Yeah.
you and her. Did you guys make eye contact? Like, oh, look at these gorillas.
I did not look at them.
It'd have been great if you guys shared a moment like, look at these fucking gorillas we're stuck with. Why do we hang out with these people?
Anyway, okay, so I'm a bear, huh?
Yeah. But you're also a mouse. Let's just be clear. I don't think you're laying down and let someone kill you. I think you're.
I think that's true.
Yeah, I think. There's,
This is not an invitation for people to come to my house and try.
I don't think anyone's reading it that way.
Okay, well, I just
Yeah.
want to be clear about that.
No.
Yeah, when I was little and I used to imagine kidnappers coming,
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine getting under the bed and then lifting myself up the top of the bottom of the bed
Mm-hmm.
and
On the
holding
frame of the bed.
myself there so that if they just quickly looked under there, they wouldn't see me.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you didn't go so far as to practice holding yourself
I don't think
up.
so
No.
because I wouldn't have been able to do it.
It can't be done.
I can't
yeah.
do that,
No, well, I don't think anyone
But
can.
in my
'Cause your feet-
5-year-old brain, I could do that.
Yeah, because your feet aren't hands. That's the big.
Unfortunately, no, they're
Yeah.
not hands. No.
Except for my sister. Carly has tans. We call them
She
her
does?
tans. You don't know that? How could you not know that? You've never seen my sister?
I've seen her feet.
My sister can like open envelopes with her feet. She can.
Really?
She could use tweezers on your face with her feet. We call them her tans.
I have no idea.
Her toe
about
hands.
that. Oh my god.
Yeah, she's so skilled. When we get back to the house, I'm going to make her do a demonstration.
Okay.
Yeah, she's unbelievably skilled at it.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. Tans, huh?
Remember that Dan Lewis film, My Left Foot?
Yeah.
She's almost as good as that guy.
I have never seen it.
Okay. I haven't either. But I understand that he's missing his arms and he learns to use his feet to do everything. And I think, of course,
wow.
he really did learn to do it because he's Dan Lewis.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I want to be good at that.
Oh, we were just talking. He should be Dee Dee Lewis.
What?
Dee Dee Lewis. Daniel Day-Lewis.
Oh.
That'd be cool.
DDL?
DDL or Dee Dee Lewis.
All right. Well, back to ERW, back to Bears, back to Jodie Foster. Can you believe it?
That's terrible. Think of the guilt you'd experience as the parents. Like you were kind of convinced by the animal wrangler, like, oh, this lion, she's worked with everyone. She's so nice. Your
It
child's
was a substitute lion.
that.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't either. What is, that's preposterous. Like what, they went down to the zoo and just grabbed one?
I guess their original one must have not been
Didn't show up on time?
Yeah, I
Like,
got
partied?
drunk the night before, and
Partied too hard.
yeah. God, what a nightmare.
What a night that lion had. Think how bad that lion felt because he had drank the night before. He found out his
he felt
stand-in,
so guilty.
his
substitute,
his understudy got handsy with the talent.
Okay, well, we talked about R. Kelly,
Uh-huh.
and since there's been some updates,
He's been arrested.
he's been arrested,
Let out on
accused-
$1 million bail, right?
I think $100,000 bail. And he was accused of sexually abusing 4 individuals, 3 of whom were under the age of 17 at the time of the alleged crimes, and the youngest victim was 14.
Ugh.
And guys, that documentary is so good.
It's incredible. You have to watch it. Again, I think we might have said it, but dude, the underage aspect is just the tip of the iceberg.
It
I mean,
is.
he is.
I mean, it's
he was
horrible.
a for real, like alleged sociopathic cult leader, where everyone's living by his rules.
Yes.
They have to ask him to go to the bathroom, allegedly,
Yeah.
and eat. And he allegedly didn't let them eat for 3 days at a time if they were naughty. I mean, it's fucking
He like
dark.
changed some of their appearance. It like made them
Both
kind
look
of
like allegedly made one look like a boy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
I allegedly puked when I saw it.
just the chances of you being what?
Wabi's got a fact.
The person who paid his bail was a daycare worker who met him on a cruise.
Come on. What are the odds of that? Something tells me there's something more going on.
Yeah, I mean.
Also, R. Kelly was on a cruise?
Yeah, sounds weird.
That sounds suspicious already.
Yeah, exactly.
People like that don't go on cruises, do they?
No. When he was released, there was like so many people waiting for him, cheering. They're
Again,
so
still?
No, they still love him. People do.
Whew.
I know.
I mean, I get it.
Do
and
you?
and it's really sad. It's that the black community has been so regularly, their heroes have been targeted by the FBI. They've been assassinated. There's been active campaigns to discredit really great members of the black community. So there's a history where the white man says the black man is a piece of shit. So I understand the historical
true.
context.
Yeah.
And that, you shouldn't be mad at them.
It makes it
You should feel so sad that they're that's the position.
And it should make us more aware. We're causing some of this. Like, we're all a part of why someone would be cheering for R. Kelly to come out of that prison.
Or also that they would have cheered for O.J. Simpson to be released because
Exactly.
so many of them have been wrongly convicted that finally we white people knew what they felt like.
Yeah. It's
Like
so,
the OJ documentary is great about that because I was so when it was all happening, just offended that this obvious murderer had gotten off.
Yeah.
But when I watched the documentary and they put it into the context that just months before, you had all those officers beating
Rodney King. I know.
and they were all acquitted.
I know.
And the black community is like, welcome to the feeling, motherfucker.
I know.
That's how it feels.
Yeah, I get it.
For that aspect, I was like, I get why they were celebratory because we got a taste of our own medicine.
Oof.
Mm.
We all got to be better.
Well, particularly OJ.
He's got to be better.
He's got to aim higher.
Yeah. I'm scared to say that. I don't want to say bad stuff about him on here. What if he comes to kill us?
Oh.
He murders people.
No, you could beat him. He is so crippled up from those football years. He is not doing well.
That's true.
Yeah.
And I am a brown bear after all.
Here you are, brown mouse. Kodiak mouse.
Okay. You asked if some of her experiences with abuse, you said at the beginning, did you ever feel like you were fulfilling a Sid and Nancy fantasy?
Oh,
She said yes to. And that is a movie.
Well, Sid Vicious was the bass player for the Sex Pistols.
Right. And then they did a movie called
Sid and Nancy. Yeah, he OD'd, and I believe she did too. But yeah, they're the original heroin chic couple.
Right.
They were fucking hot messes. They were famous. They were
Troubled.
trashy. They were shooting dope in alleys.
Yeah.
And they were famous.
Yeah.
And so people have Sid and Nancy fantasies.
Yeah.
People who tattoo on themselves beautiful mess. Those people have a Sid and Nancy fantasy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I kind of really, I mean, I had a Bukowski fantasy. It wasn't exactly Sid and Nancy. I didn't ever want to shoot dope, but I didn't want to be drunk all the time.
Yeah, I think it's just like it means there's something like attractive about chaos.
I think that's part of it. And also you don't feel accepted by the system you're in. So you want to send the biggest fuck you to it. I'm rejecting the system. Mm-hmm. Like I'm taking my power back.
But
I'm not playing your game and I'm sending you obvious signals that I'm not.
Right. But in a relationship parallel, I think it's more about chaos and
Drama.
And like it's not real if you don't have like this
heightened
like,
everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I see the appeal of that. I've never really, that's not been my
cup of tea.
No, I like
You like mint
contentment and harmony in a relationship.
Yeah.
I ain't all about
Did
like
you
people
ever
who
have
love
one
a volatile relationship.
like that?
Yeah, I had a single one. Yeah, I've never like people who love to fight and then fuck to make up. I've never gotten that personally. I mean, again, I had a relationship like that, and yeah, the sex was, I guess, really interesting. Those post dramatic fights, but what a gross cycle for me.
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
I was like, this is twisted. Some people, I mean, I thought, we talked about it, but I thought in the HBO, the home box office show, with all the women in it, Big Little Lies. the way their sex life was predicated on the violence and abuse, I found to be really fascinating.
I know. Well, it's tricky, I think, because if women feel in a relationship like sex is the thing they have power over, then
Well, by the way, they do.
they do. Yeah. But if you feel like, sorry, that's the only place you have power, I think that's where some things get really dicey with a relationship, because then they're using the power when they can, and they're withholding, and they feel powerless so often that they need to. It just is.
Doesn't sound very healthy.
I don't think it's healthy. No.
No. Someone out there's like, fuck you. It's awesome sex. I'm going to pick it.
I'm sure it's. It doesn't mean it's not awesome just because it's not healthy.
Yeah, that's true. Candy bars.
Exactly.
They're not healthy and they're awesome.
Yeah, exactly. You talked about Who to Invade Next. You really love that documentary. You talk about it a lot.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I do.
You don't have to. Why are you apologizing? You said the recidivism rate in Swedish prisons is 10% and 80% here.
Those were two wild guesses.
Yeah, you made those up.
Yeah.
But according to the National Institute of Justice, about 68% of 405,000 prisoners released in 30 states in 2005. That's a long time ago, but still, were arrested for a new crime within 3 years of their release from prison.
So 70% within 3 years.
3 years, and 77% were arrested within 5 years.
So
you were very close. But the recidivism rate in Sweden is around 40%.
Oh, okay. Although 40 is better than 80.
Much, but also much more than 10.
Way more than 10. 4 times as much.
4 times as much, yeah. But it's far less than in the U.S. and most European countries.
Okay.
So
I was wrong, and I was a little bit right.
You were right about the overarching thing. The numbers were wrong. That's really it.
That's it?
Yeah.
Well, just to reiterate, we really enjoyed Evan.
Yeah.
And she was not what I was expecting.
No, me either.
Even from my pseudo friendship with her on Twitter, she was not what I was. She just looked to me like to use a cliche, like the girl next door.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like in the Maryland phase, she seemed very exotic and Nancy-esque.
And kind of dangerous.
Yeah. And then we meet her, and she just seemed like a
Super
wholesome girl
sweet.
from Missouri.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's also age. Like, she was sort of saying that. She alludes to her 20s being
An experimental
phase.
phase.
Yeah. Yeah. And she has kids. You know,
And she's still
people
young
change.
as fuck. I mean, she's younger than you, right? You were 1 month older than her.
Something like that, yeah.
Your first guest, younger than
Well,
you.
no, Debbie.
Deborah.
Deborah Ryan was younger than me.
She
we
sure
probably
was.
had a May. Is May younger than me?
I don't think so.
Or around the same age, maybe.
Yeah.
We
You're
did
both
something
babies
like
in the
that.
80s.
We're small.
Babies in the 80s. What if instead of us calling you guys millennials, we called you babies in the 80s?
Oh, that'd be fun.
That's way better than millennials. Millennials seems too high tech to me and futuristic.
Well, we are high tech. That's why we're called that.
Is it?
I think.
I think it's because
Tech boom, I bet. I bet that is why.
I think it's because we entered a new millennium while you were in your infancy.
I know.
2000.
Like, what does that mean? Like, we weren't born in the year 2000. Man, Y2K.
People were freaked. Something tells me you were freaked.
Of course.
But of course.
I was freaked out a little bit.
I was at a country and western show down in Tennessee with Aaron Weekly.
Oh.
Yeah.
Bringing in the new millennia.
We were in the least futuristic manner possible, a roadside hillbilly bar with a country band.
That'd be a good place for you to be if the world ended.
You would never know. Like there was
Same.
this group of folks and the venue were not relying on any technology. There was like a old fashioned cash
that's
register when you walked
great.
in.
That's
Everyone's
great.
still using cash. We would have never known.
That's great.
But what were you doing? You were under your bed, clutching to the bed frame with a
yeah.
bottle of water in your pocket.
No, I was at my grandparents' house. But
Were you all just sitting there holding hands in a circle?
no, everyone was fine. But my mom was on call. I do remember that because she's a programmer. No one knew what was going to happen with all the computer systems. So she had to work and she had to be on call. No, that was a whole thing.
What a bizarre moment for them. They were probably all just waiting, holding their breath. And then
I
all of a sudden
know.
it was 2000. And also, was it 2000 in England? Was it 2000 in New York? I guess all these
Right.
computer date systems were set up for New York time, maybe.
I don't
and then
know.
they probably were like, they probably just all looked at each other like, did
Is it-
did anything happen? What happened? Nothing happened?
Isn't it kind of crazy? Like, we won't experience another one of those. The next one we will not experience.
No. And hopefully they'll realize in the year 3000 that didn't happen. In the year 2000, everyone should just keep their
Well, we
shit
don't.
together.
In 3000, who knows?
Ugh.
Who even knows what the world?
We
will
might
look
still be
like?
here
Well, actually, yeah.
in a computer model. Like our essence might be
They might bring us
existing.
back somehow.
Or we'll just transfer our being into a machine.
Well, I don't think we're gonna have that in our lifetime. So I just
You
think-
don't?
No, I don't. But
It's
I think
moving
they
quick.
might have that eventually, and they might have some way of bringing us back.
Bringing us back.
Anyway, that's
Imagine if you're
all.
dead for 400 years and all of a sudden you're just like,
I would not be happy about
you came
it.
to and there was a bunch of, I am presence. This is gift box. All right. Well, I love you and
Love
I
you.
love the armcherries and
Love everybody.